And brought to you via San Luis, Missouri, live. This is Bombers Game Mic. I'm Paul D, and tonight is Game 2 of this Weekday 3 set down in Atlanta, where the St. Louis Cardinals are taking on none other, the Atlanta Braves. And last night was such a... It really definitely gives a swell of air under your sails. Seeing the Cardinals go in there. Matthew Liberatore, I'm watching him. He pitches 5 innings. He's effective. I think it's 3 walks, 9 strikeouts. I'm just checking the sky to make sure the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse haven't shown up, because that's the only other explanation I can think of at the moment for his performance, is that it's the end of days. But no, he did very well, as did Nelson Velasquez and Nate Church, really getting the offense churning there. They go down to Truist Field, or rather Truist Park, I should say, and set the tone coming into tonight. And of course, coming into tonight, pitching for the St. Louis Cardinals is none other than the right-hander Michael McGreevy. Now, Michael McGreevy is 3-6. That's his win-loss record. He's obviously pitched so much better than that. And for the most part, these Cardinals, they don't just play well on the road. They hit really well on the road, and their pitching tends to lag, but McGreevy's actually pretty consistent. And we know what he needs to do to be successful. Especially for him, keep that ball down. He does a lot of work with that sinker, two-seamer. And so long as he's aggressive and throwing strikes, well, he should generally be okay. And going for the Braves tonight is the right-hander Reynaldo Lopez, who, from all I can tell, is being used as an opener tonight, which makes all the sense in the world. And the last time he did this was back on the 26th, I believe, against the Giants. He actually went 3 innings in that game, only gave up a single earned run. But for the most of the top part, he's been used out of the bullpen like any standard reliever would. So I don't really have that much to say about him, but I do have something to say about you. Join the Game Mic roll call. Let me know where you're watching or listening from. It is so good to be back tonight here in the studio. I'll give you the full story in the half inning. Worry not, but it's good to see you all. Thank you for spending part of your Wednesday evening here with me as the Cardinals take on the Braves down in DIXIE. Join the Game Mic roll call. Let me know where you're watching or listening from, and we go to the chat. Alrighty. If only I can get control over my mouse. There we go. Alrighty. Well, of course, Justin Beasley, welcome to the stream, everyone. Be sure to drop a like on your way in. If you're near here, subscribe to never miss the Cardinals action here on Bombers Game Mic. That is the perfect encapsulation of Justin Beasley doing Justin Beasley things. Thank you so much, Justin. It's really appreciated. You do a bang-up job. Bryce Lester, let's go Cardinals. Let's get a win tonight. Oh, wouldn't it be sweet? All right. Ron Lyle. Good evening, Cardinal fans. Great night to beat the Braves. Smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Well, thank you, Ron. Part of the Game Mic Vanguard. Dwayne Smith. Hey, yo, let's go. You know it. All right, let's see. Rush Dash. Let's go Cardinals. All over that. Ron Lyle. Great to see you, Paul. It's great to see you too, Ron. I know you were busy this past weekend, and obviously, what happened with the stream last night. So it's been a few days, so it's really, fresh sight for sore eyes, to say the least. Good just doing training work videos. Yes. Braylon Beasley the Younger. Thank you for coming up. Chuck Gaiman, what's up, Paul? How you feeling? I'm hanging in there, trucking. You know the deal. Alrighty, Neftali Acosta, welcome back. My friend from South Beach, Florida, blessings, my friend, and to you as well. And we're about a little under 5 minutes away from scheduled first pitch down at Truist. I'll give you the starting lineups here in a moment. John Wilms, hi, Paul, missed you. Hi to you all, Braves and Cardinal fans. I missed you too, John. You actually don't live that far from me. USAA Brat. In FTM team. Good to see you back. Wentzville, Missouri. God bless. Cheers to that. Martin Greenwell. Good evening, Paul. Go Cards from Louisville, Kentucky. All right, Rush Dash. Hello from St. Charles, Missouri. Rush Dash, you and I are not that far apart. God help me, you could be my next door neighbor. Biloxi back from St. Louis. Cheers to you, Scott Reed. So I'll get to the rest in a moment here, but I need to give you the starting lineups here for tonight's game, starting off with the St. Louis Cardinals. Leading off at second base, the NL rookie sensation, J.J. Weatherholt. Hitting second at DH tonight is Ivan Herrera. Batting third at first is Alec Burleson. Batting cleanup out in right field is Jordan Walker. Batting fifth out in left is Lars Nootbaar. Batting sixth at shortstop is Mason Wynn. Batting seventh out in center field is Nate Church. In the 8-hole at third base is Blaze Jordan. And batting ninth and behind the dish is Jimmy Crooks. That's your starting 9 for the Cardinals. Now, for the Braves, leading off at catcher is Baldwin. Hitting in the 2-hole at second base is Albies. Batting third at first base is Olson. Batting cleanup out in center field is Harris II. Batting fifth out in left field is Dubon. Batting sixth at DH is Smith. Batting seventh at third base is Riley. Batting eighth out in right field is Yastrzemski. And batting ninth at shortstop is Mateo. And those are your starting 9 for both of these clubs. So if you haven't done so already, join the Game Mike roll call. Let me know where you're watching or listening from. Do you think the Cards will go to the postseason? Honestly, OG, I don't know. But this is what I do know, and I think this is probably the most realistic assessment I can give you. I think the Cardinals can definitely play meaningful games late into September, and then we'll see where fate takes us. Between now and the end of this big, 14-game-in-a-row stretch that also includes a doubleheader that's upcoming Tuesday, is going to say a lot about what happens to the Cardinals' fate in all likelihood. All right. Warning track prods. Hey, Paul, this is MasonWin.prods. Hi, Max. I changed my name and profile picture. Well, cheers to you, Max. Good to see you. DJ Nick Fly. What's up, Paul? Howdy from Sparta, Missouri. Good to see you, DJ Nick Fly. High-rise homie, O'Fallon, Missouri. Let's go, boys. Cheers to O'Fallon. Stan Schaefer, Topeka, Kansas is here. Welcome back. It's great to see you again. John Williams, I watched some of the Braves chats in games last night. Not the same as our broadcast, but of course I'm biased. And that's because you're great, John. Robert Weller, Niceville, Florida, checking in tonight. Good to see ya. And warning track pods, Cubs win again. Yeah, they actually just demolished the opposition in that against the Padres. It was a football score. You would think that game was played down at Soldier Field. But no. No. So we're just here a moment away from scheduled first pitch down in Truist. Reynaldo Lopez is very likely serving as an opener. And then we'll have Michael McGreevy. So warming up, Reynaldo Lopez, 3-1 with a 3.47 ERA, 21 walks against 40 strikeouts, a whip of 1.37, 19 games and 6 starts. Starts. I put in air quotes there. A four-seamer, a slider, a curve, a changeup. Pretty reasonable for a guy that's mostly out of the pen. I believe he's a former Chicago White Sox as well. So we're just a moment away here, folks. It's great to see you all. And we'll get into the chat as this game goes on. I got to tell you a little bit about the last couple of days. You know how it is. Anyway, standing in the on-deck circle is J.J. Weatherholt. He's waiting to come up to the plate as Reynaldo Lopez is finishing up his warm-up tosses. Indeed, I need to calf up tonight. But that's one of the reasons I can put on a decent show for everyone here. And it's wonderful to see you all back. Anytime I miss a game for whatever reason, I always feel like there's a part of me that's missing. It's like, oh man, I'm missing the party here. This is fun. So thank you all. Stepping into the box is J.J. Weatherall. Onto the bump is Reynaldo Lopez. And yours truly steps up to the mic. Righty-lefty matchup. First pitch from Lopez. A ball, and we are underway with a four-seam fastball low and away. The count is 1-0. J.J. Weatherholt hitting .261 on the year. On deck is Ivan Herrera. Here's the pitch from Lopez. Strike, four-seam fastball down and away. That one had just got the corner compared to the last one, which was clearly off. It's a 1-1 count. J.J. Weatherholt in 78 games, 12 home runs, 34 RBIs, 261, a 763 OPS. And here's the pitch from Lopez. Swinging strike on the four-seam fastball just off the outside corner. Swung underneath that one, did Weatherholt. And the count is 1-2 strikes. So nobody on, nobody out. Top of the first inning here at Truist. First at bat of the night. Into the box is Weatherholt. The righty Lopez, he comes set. And the 1-2 pitch. A curveball down in the dirt and out of the zone, and the count evens up at 2-2. Now, the offensive engine here for the Cardinals is deeply predicated on J.J. Weatherholt's production. When he's right, the offense is right. Coming set is Lopez, the 2-2 pitch. Hit on out there to center field. Going back is the center fielder in front of the wall. He's at the track, right up against the 400, hauls it in for the first out of the inning. So a long and loud first out off the bat there. The Braves defensive lineman Dubon in left, Harris at third, in second, Yastrzemski in right, Riley at third, Mateo at short, Albies at second, Olsen is at first, Baldwin is behind the dish, and Lopez is on the mound. Stepping into the box here is Ivan Herrera. 82 games, 252, 10 home runs, 35 RBIs, a 795 OPS. And here's the first pitch. A four-seam fastball down and away and out of the zone, clock 96 miles an hour, and the count is 1-0. Ivan Herrera is another example of what's necessary for this engine to run. Coming sets Lopez, the 1-0. Foul down the third baseline on the four-seam fastball, and the count is 1-1. When he and J.J. Weatherholt are working, this whole offense comes together. When they're not, the offense sputters. Many times I have noticed. They're really focusing in on Matty Liberatore there on the top of the belt. Curveball down and away and out of the zone. The count is 2-1. So I hope everybody is having a wonderful Wednesday night right here coming up against the 4th of July. The 2-1 pitch. Strike, four-seam fastball, outer third above the knees, and the count comes even at 2-2. I don't know. Coming set is Lopez. Here's the 3-2 to Herrera. Hit on out there to left center field. Here, giving chase, and it goes. Just bounces off the wall and into the stands for a one-out ground rule double by Ivan Herrera. Ivan the Terrible is doing his thing, and the Cardinals have a runner on second with one out here in the top of the first inning. Coming up to the plate is the lefty slugging first baseman for St. Louis, Alec Burleson, and on that one, it was just middle fastball. That was batting practice, except faster, and Ivan Herrera turned on it. Nobody had a chance. It skipped right there in the front portion of the warning track and hopped over the wall in left center. So there's a runner on second with one out. From the stretches, Lopez, first pitch to Burleson. Hit on up the middle and fielded there by the shortstop. Gets it on a hop. Throws to first in time for the second out of the inning. Staying right there at second was Ivan Herrera. Had there not been a shift, that would have been an easy single. And we have a super chat. Braylon, $5. 14 subs away from 900 and 64 likes away from 100. Thank you so much, Braylon. You're so generous. You guys are so kind. Thank you. Now, here's Jordan Walker hitting .288. Runner on second with one out here in the top of the first. Here's the pitch from Lopez. Hit to the right side and into right field for a base hit. Coming home is Herrera. Here's the throw. Here's the play. And he is ruled safe. He is safe at the plate. And that will give the Cardinals a 1-0 lead. Oh, Jordan Walker, keep walking. A single to right and an RBI single. And the Cardinals have themselves a 1-0 lead. Oh, Jordan Walker, keep walking. In that case, it was very similar pitch to the previous one. It was a fastball up in the zone, out over the plate. It was actually a fairly close play at the plate, but Herrera was definitely safe. There's no need for anything else. Now, here's Lars Nootbaar. Here he goes. He's going down to second. Here's the throw. And he is ruled safe at second. Jordan Walker steals second there on the first pitch from Lopez. So the Cardinals now have a runner on second with two out. And the pitch itself was ruled a ball. And now there's once again a runner on second with two out here. for Lars Nootbaar. It is a righty-lefty matchup. Walker leads. Coming set is Lopez. In fact, it's an 0-1. Here's the pitch. A curveball down and in and out of the zone. It is, in fact, 1-1. Lars Nootbaar hitting .306, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs in 21 games at .872 OPS. Righty-lefty matchup, 1-1. Swinging strike on the slider, down and away, and the count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Lars Nootbaar now goes into defensive mode. The infield defense is clearly shaded towards right with the lefty hitting Nootbaar. Coming set below the belt is Lopez, the 1-2. A slider down and in and out of the zone. The count comes even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Great way to start. You know, Ron, you know it. Back onto the bump is Lopez. Walker leads off second. And here's the 2-2. A curveball down and in and out of the zone. Clock 75 miles an hour, and the count is now 3 balls and 2 strikes to Newt. With the runner on second with 2 out, it is 1-0 Cardinals here in the top of the first inning. Leading there at second with a short lead is Jordan Walker. Lopez comes set below the belt. And here's the 3-2 pitch. Swinging strike 3 on the slider low for the third and final out of the inning. But the Cardinals on the RBI single to right that scored Ivan Herrera off the bat of Jordan Walker gives the Cardinals a 1-0 lead. So, 1 run, 2 hits, no walks, 1 left on. After 1/2 inning of play, it is the St. Louis Cardinals 1 and the Atlanta Braves coming to bat. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Let's go to the chat. Reese K. Walker and Newt will both go yard this evening is my prediction. I hope you're right, Reese. Charlie Owen. You are very baseball knowledgeable and do a great job with the color commentary. I won't talk bad about the other streamers, but they don't compare. You know, Charlie, that really does mean a lot to me. There's a lot of competition in this. There's nobody else, as far as I know, that is dedicated doing Cardinal games, and that's not going to last forever. I've learned a lot from watching a lot of other guys, and most of them are pretty good. I have certainly nothing to say against them. I'm always going to be proud of what has been created here and how it's done. And maybe one day I'll give you all a behind-the-scenes look at what is actually in here, because what's beyond frame is somewhat interesting, I think. But thank you so much, Charlie. That really does mean a lot. And I just couldn't be, as I like to say, because it's just incredibly true and it's not a platitude whatsoever, and I'll do those. There's nowhere else I'd rather be right now, and there's nothing else that I'd rather be doing right now. This is the best gig in the world, simply put. All right, we are back here for the bottom of the first inning. Going on to the hill is Michael McGreevy. Cards have a 1-0 lead. In 16 starts, 3-6 with a 3.12 ERA, 21 walks against 47 strikeouts, a 1.14 whip in those 16 starts. A 4-seamer, a changer, a sinker, curve, cutter, sweeper, slider. That's pretty standard, but some people do it better than others in baseball nowadays. Stepping in the box, leading off is the catcher Baldwin. In 254 with a 793 OPS. It's a righty-lefty matchup. Coming Juan McGreevy, the first pitch to Baldwin. 4-seam fastball off the outside corner, ruled a ball, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. On deck is the second baseman, Albies. Looking in is McGreevy. He comes to the full wind, the 1-0. Check swing on the cutter away. Did he go around? Yes, says Blue down the third baseline, and the count is 1-1. Baldwin is back into the box. McGreevy comes wide. The 1-1 pitch. Hit on up the middle and past a diving Mason Wynn into right center field for a leadoff single. So the catcher Baldwin gets the party started there for Atlanta. They have a runner on first with nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning. Coming up is going to be Ozzie Albies and then Matt Olson due up here. McGreevy certainly is no stranger to pulling the double play pitch there. I felt dirty watching the other guys last night. Oh, Ron, come now. Here's the first pitch. Strike, cutter, right down Broadway below the belt. And the count is 0-1. Albies, the left-handed hitter, righty-lefty matchup, hitting .274, 12 home runs, 46 RBIs in 83 games. He's a .754 OPS. It's an 0-1 count. Baldwin leads off first, and here's the 0-1. Hit on out there to right field. Going back is Jordan Walker looking up, and it is off the top of the high wall there. He throws it back on in. Coming home is Baldwin. Here's the throw. It's cut off, and they have the runner there, Albies, caught up between second and third, and he is tagged out for the first out of the inning. However, the run does score, and it is now a tie ball game. And in that case, it looked like perhaps it was a slider. It hung up on the outer third about belt high. In other ballparks where they don't have the high brick wall out there, it would have been out. So the Cardinals, in fact, do benefit from the design of the park. And a very fine job there catching Albies between second and third, trying to stretch that to a triple. Now here's Olsen. Here's the pitch. Strike, curveball, outside corner, and the count is 0-1. No, Rod, you don't have to feel dirty about that. You know, I wasn't here. You want to get your Redbird action. Matt Olsen, 276, 20 home runs, and 52 RBIs. Here's the 0-1 from McGreevy. Swinging strike on the four-seam fastball upstairs, and the count is now no balls and 2 strikes. Be yourself on your broadcast. We love you and Mrs. and everyone here. Rock on. Thank you so much, John. You guys are so incredibly kind. It's really kind of mind-boggling. Thank you. Nobody on with 1 out. Here's the 0-2 pitch from McGreevy. A slider down and in and out of the zone. Count comes 1-2. Hi, Paul and everybody. How's it going, Jimmy? Good to see you. Reese K. I wouldn't test the Cardinal outfield or infield arms. Yeah, they definitely have some cannons there. It's a 1-2 count. Nobody on with 1 out. Coming on, McGreevy, the 1-2 pitch. Hit on out there into... shallow right center. Picking it up is Mason Wynn. He throws to first just in time to get the runner at first for the second out of the inning. And that right there was a fantastic example of Mason Wynn really showing range. They had the infield very much aligned towards right with the left-handed hitter. Now here's the Cardinal defensive alignment. Newbar in left, Church in center, Walker in right, Jordan at third, Wynn at short, Weatherhall at second, Burleson at first. Crooks is behind the dish with McGreevy on the mound. Now here's the first pitch. A sinker away and clear out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Old Harris the second here is a left-handed hitter, so it's a righty-lefty matchup. Hitting .294, 14 home runs, 43 RBIs in 77 games, and 821 OPS. The pitch. Swinging strike on the slider, down and in, and the count is 1-1. No, but Mason Wynn on that play was as shaded as he could be. That's allowable by rules. And he easily went about 12 feet to his left to pick that up on a couple of hops and get the runner at first. Now here comes the 1-1 pitch. A sinker down and away and out of the zone. The count is now 2-1. The infield defense once again with the lefty here. Harris the second. Very much aligned toward the top of the second inning. It is all tied at 1. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Okay. The score bug is being a little sluggish on me. That's okay. But it's good to have you all back. You know, that seems to work. And I couldn't be any happier that it does. My goodness. Wynn should not be an all-star? Well, I don't know if I don't even know that he's necessarily in contention, but Wynn is an all-star. He's a guy who's really developing well. I like his defense. He's had a few miscues. John George. Oh, no, that was another person. Let's see. Okay. All right. Well, I hope you all are very much enjoying your Wednesday night. Obviously, I will be here with you for tonight, tomorrow, and straight up to the All-Star break. Oh, I forgot. Okay, I have to explain to you somewhat about what happened yesterday. So, starting late on Monday night, and this was like a really local issue. We were dealing it through the management company in the place we live. The power was kind of like browning in and out. It would go off for a number of minutes or even up to an hour and come back on. And if you're in Missouri right now, you know that we're under a heat dome. So it was more than just worrying about having power for the stream. It had to do with the fact that it's so incredibly hot without the AC on. We had to go and stay somewhere else for a couple of days. But everything seems to be back up in order, and I couldn't be any happier about that. It is really good to be here in the studio with all of you. So we're heading here to the top of the second inning. Stepping up here is Mason Wynn. He is followed by Nate Church and Blaze Jordan. 6, 7, and 8 in the order. Coming sets Lopez. Righty matchup. Here's the pitch. Swinging strike on a four-seam fastball outside corner at the knees, and the count is 0-1. What is going on here? Coming set is Lopez. Here's the pitch. Swinging strike, a four-seam fastball right down Broadway. Mason swung right underneath that one. He's hitting .245 with 3 home runs, 32 RBIs in 74 games, a .650 OPS. And here's the 0-2. Check swing foul there, goes over the Braves dugout, and the count is now no balls and 2 strikes. Ready for this W. Hey, Thurman, great to see you. Coming sets Lopez, the 0-2 to win. A slider bounces in the lefty batter's box, goes all the way to the backstop, and the count is 1-2. John George, glad to hear you tonight, Paul. I am glad you enjoy it so much. This is a real privilege. Coming sets Lopez, the 1-2 pitch. Swinging strike 3 on the slider, down and away, and that is the first out of the inning. So Lopez comes in, strikes out the leadoff man here in the top of the second inning. And here comes Nate Church, and we all know what he did last night. And in a very timely fashion at that. That was down and in the classic lefty swing path, the place you do not play around. And, they blanked around and found out. Righty-lefty matchup. Here's the first pitch to Nate Church. Swinging strike on the four-seam fastball off the outside corner, and the count is 0-1. Nate Church is hitting .258, 6 home runs, 23 RBIs on 64 games, a .705 OPS. Here's the 0-1. A four-seam fastball wide actually goes slightly over the righty batter's box, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. That was the 25th pitch here for Reynaldo Lopez. He comes from the stretch with nobody on. Here's the 1-1. Strike, four-seam fastball, outer third, about thigh high, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hey, Nick, 56 likes, 154 people watching. Hit that like button. Thank you, Nick. Coming step from the stretch is Lopez. He deals. A slider bounces out there in front of home plate, and the count comes even at 2-2. So it looks like a plenty pleasant night down there at Truist. See if we can get ourselves a little weather report going on there. Currently 89 degrees. I know this is in Cumberland. Now the 2-2 pitch. Hit on out there to the right side and picked up and caught on the line by the second baseman Albies for the second out of the inning. Just hung up a little too much and just a little too low. Albies went ranging to his right side, was able to pick it up with a slight leap. Now here's the rook third baseman, the right hand hitting Blaze Jordan. 89 in Georgia right now, with 63% humidity. Here's the pitch. Strike, four-seam fastball right down Broadway at the knees, and the count is 0-1. Blaze Jordan in 15 games, .235, 1 home run, 13 RBIs, a .638 OPS. Righty-righty matchup. Lopez deals. Foul down the first base side, now to play on the four-seam fastball up and away. Clock 97 miles an hour out of the right hand of Lopez, and the count is now no balls and 2 strikes. So nobody on, 2 out here in the top of the second inning. It is all tied at 1. From the stretches, Lopez, he deals. A four-seam fastball, helmet high, but luckily nowhere near his head, and the count is 1-2. Back into the box is Jordan Walker, and hit the 1-2 pitch. A slider down and away and in the dirt. The count comes even at 2-2. MHK, good evening, go Cards. Cheers to that. Into the box is Blaze Jordan. It's a 2-2 count. Righty-righty matchup. Lopez comes one. The 2-2. Swinging strike 3 on the slider. Down and away, and that will do it. So, no runs, no hits, no walks, nobody left on after 1.5 innings of play. It is all tied at 1 down at Truist Park in Cumberland, Georgia. I'm Paul D., and if you're enjoying my call of Redbird action here tonight on Game Mike, and you haven't done so already, please do leave a like. It's really helping this growing channel grow even further and get out to more Cardinal fans and baseball fans more generally. We all know the situation with the Cardinals not having a regional sports network and needing 3 or 4 different subscriptions at this point to watch them, in addition to not always knowing where they're on. Well, here at Game Mike, I'm calling almost every Cardinal game. In addition to that, you want to see more? Hit subscribe. We'd love to have you aboard. Great growing community here at Game Mike. With that said, me here, you there, and this is Bombers Game Mike to the chat. Dazzling leather with iconic call will be appreciated, kid. Fair enough. Ron, gonna be hot here in Vermont tomorrow with a heat index of 115. That is intense, Ron. Hey, Q-Man, evening all. Dixon, Missouri has entered the chat. Great to see you, Q-Man. One of those folks who comes back very frequently that always really spices up the discussion there. You are one of a kind, Q-Man. So we are waiting here. The bottom of the second inning, leading off will be Dubon, then Smith, and then Riley. So I believe that's 5, 6, 7 in the Braves order. We're all tied at 1. Michael McGreevy will be out for his second frame. Roger Baseman, Tucson, Arizona, checking in from the surface of the sun. Great to see you, Roger. So we're all tied at 1. One thing you do know, though, is the Cardinals do tend to score and hit pretty well on the road. We'll see if it happens again. Into the box is Dubon. It's a righty-righty matchup. The first pitch from McGreevy. Up and in, four-seam fastball clear out of the zone. Clock 92 miles an hour out of the right hand of McGreevy, and the count is 1-0. Only 100 today, Roger. Okay. McGreevy comes wide. He deals. Strike, sinker, whispers over the black of the outside corner to Dubon, and the count is 1-1. Nobody on, nobody out. Bottom of the second inning, all tied at 1. Dubon, the righty's hitting 267. Here's the 1-1 pitch. A sinker down and in, clear out of the zone, slightly jackknifing out of the way. There is Dubon, and the count is now 2 balls and 1 strike. Mid-game interview there in the dugout with Matty Liberatore. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Foul down the first base side, now to play on the sweeper away, and the count comes even at 2-2. The correspondent is actually standing in the dugout, and she's holding a microphone up to him. It's not like they have like an earpiece or a lav mic set up in advance, which I just consider kind of weird. But that's just me. McGreevy looks in. He comes wide. The 2-2. Hit to the left side. Fielded there by Blaze Jordan. He boots it. It goes beyond him. Picked up by Mason Wynn in short left field, but there's no play at first. So easily an error there. That's what I would score on Blaze Jordan down at the hot corner. And the Braves have themselves a runner on first with nobody out. And in that case, it was not an easy play, but undoubtedly it is a play a major league third baseman should be able to make on the hard hop. He booted it, and they have a runner on first. Now here comes Smith. Runner on first, nobody out. Smith, the left-hander, hitting 279. Righty-lefty matchup. First pitch. Strike. Four-seam fastball right down Broadway, and the count is 0-1. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet, Q-Man, but I'm definitely going to be doing that. I appreciate the reminder. Back into the box is Smith. Coming set is McGreevy from the belt, the 0-1. Strike, cutter, inside quarter below the belt. And he's now ahead of Smith. No balls and 2 strikes. So it's an 0-2 count here. Runner on first, nobody out. Bottom of the second inning. All tied at 1. Both teams getting a single run in their bottom and top half of the inning, respectively. From the stretches, McGreevy, he's thrown 20 pitches. Runner leads off first. Coming set, it's McGreevy below the belt. The 0-2 to Smith. Hit foul down the first base side. Now to play on the changeup down and away. Just got a piece of that one, did Smith. Count remains 0-2. Sokomo have to be perfect defensively with pitchers like McGreevy. Yeah, he does pitch to contact to some degree. He's not a strikeout artist. And if you're not, fielding well behind him, you're not exactly setting yourself up well. You got that right, Soko. Common set is McGreevy below the belt. He's at the stretch. Runner leads the 0-2. A changeup just misses on the outside corner, clocked 87 miles an hour out of the right hand of McGreevy, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes at 2-2. I don't know why the score bug is so sluggish right now. Okay. Right. Coming set is McGreevy. Runner leads off first. The 2-2 pitch. Hit foul and over the Cardinal dugout on the slider in. The count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. So there is a runner on first. Reach on an error by Blaze Jordan. And that accounts for that action. Oh, yes, I will take care of that, Justin. Thank you for the reminder. That's easy enough. Back into the box is Smith. The runner leads off first. They're still focusing on that in-dugout interview. The 2-2. Foul back behind the plate on the cutter, up and in. Just got a piece of that one. The count remains 2-2. Staple in the stable is McGreevy. I like the wordplay. So runner leads off first. They're still focusing on this interview in the dugout, which is not nearly as relevant. From the stretch, thrown over to first. Back in time is Dubon. And we wait the next 2-2 offering. Back into the box is Smith. Coming set below the belt is McGreevy. The 2-2. Called strike 3. Down looking goes Smith for the first out of the inning. Smith got caught in the observatory. It wasn't even close. Gets the backwards K. Major League Baseball's impression of Cyrillic for the first out of the inning. So stepping up to the plate is Riley. Hitting .207 on the year. Next pitch is going to be McGreevy's 26. Righty-righty matchup. Runner leads off first. Here's the first pitch. Strike, sinker, outer third at the knees, and the count is 0-1. Austin Riley, the third baseman, hitting .207, 8 home runs, 37 RBIs in 83 games, a .619 OPS. There's a runner on first with 1 out. It's an 0-1 count, all tied at 1 in the bottom of the second inning. Coming set below the belt is McGreevy, the 0-1. Swinging strike on the slider, down and in. Riley swung over the top of that one, and the count is 0-2. Runner leads off first. It's an 0-2 count. Back in the box is Riley. From the stretch is McGreevy. He sets below the belt. He deals. Swinging strike 3. Down, hacking goes Riley for the second out of the inning. So you whistle enthusiast, this is, I hope this is satiating your appetite. You know, he swung on a very good sweeper down and away from the right-hander. Very, very good deceptive pitch with a lot of excellent intended movement. Now, here's Yastrzemski, the left-handed hitter, and yes, I do believe he is related to the Yastrzemski. Righty-lefty matchup. Here's the pitch. Strike, four-seam fastball, outer third at the knees, and the count is 0-1. I do believe he is related to Carl Yastrzemski. Back onto the bump, looking in is McGreevy. Dubon, he leads off first, reached on an error, leading off in this inning. Stepping off the rubber real quick there is McGreevy, trying to get on the same page there with Jimmy Crooks. Usually Ivan Herrera will catch him, but not tonight. Coming set is McGreevy, the 0-1. A four-seam fastball just a little bit too high on the outside corner, and the count is 1-1. It is so nice to hear that whistle. Hey, you don't get how much gratification I have playing it. It's just amazing. So Dubon leads off first with 2 outs, a 1-1 count. Righty-lefty matchup, the 1-1 pitch. Head on out there to center field. Going back at the track is Nate Church. He's underneath that. He makes the catch in the shortest port of the warning track on the lip of the grass for the third and final out of the inning. So, no runs. No hits, no walks, a reach by error, and 1 left on. After 2 full innings of play, we are all tied at 1 here in Game 2 between the Cardinals and the Braves down at Truist Park. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Let's go to the chat. So nice. I had to whistle to myself last night. I'm glad you guys dig that so much. It's just so much fun. All right. Nick, laughing out loud. Me too, JB. Sam Foreman. Oh, I didn't see it, Sam. Let me take a look. The only one that is hitting for the Braves, it seems, is Albies. Yeah, they've been definitely in a funk. I think they're 2-8 in their last 10 or something like that. They're obviously a very good team that's going through a rough stretch now. That's something I think we could all very much appreciate. Oh, he's his nephew. He's his nephew. Thank you, Fantasy Football Reaper. Another great YouTube handle, by the way. I always like pointing that out when somebody has a really good one. Thurman, the Cards seem to play good teams very well and struggle with the poor teams. That is about dead on the nose, Thurman. I think that is a lot of their 2026 year so far. And there could be any number of reasons for it, no doubt. So leading off here in the top of the third inning is going to be the left-hand hitting catcher Jimmy Crooks, then back to the top of the lineup with J.J. Weatherall and then Ivan Herrera, who of course scored on the only RBI tonight so far by the Cardinals. Joe Breeding, Brother Paul, good evening. Me and the boys that snuck out last night. Oh, I understand, Brother Joe. Don't worry about it. I heard. I got a whole report on it. But I'm back, and it's great to see you, Brother Joe. So we're back here for the top of the third inning. Crooks, Weatherall, and Herrera. Lopez, he's out for his third frame. It's a righty-lefty matchup. Here's the first pitch to Crooks. Hit foul down the first base side and out of play. And the count is no balls and one strike. Crooks needs to start producing, yeah, in a big way. If he doesn't, I think he probably should go down to AAA. Back down on the bump there is Lopez. This will be his 35th pitch. Jimmy Crooks hitting 157. He comes to the stretch. The 0-1 pitch. Hit on out there into center field. Going back to the center fielder. He gets it about 5 feet in front of the track in center for the first out of the inning. So a long fly there, but unfortunately it goes nowhere there for Jimmy Crooks. Now we're back to the top of the lineup with the left hand hitting J.J. Weatherall. He is 0 for 1. And we have Ivan Herrera on deck. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll do that in just a moment, Q-Man. My apologies. I hadn't looked over yet. Nobody on with one out. It's righty-lefty matchup. First pitch to Weatherall. A curveball on the outside corner ruled a ball. The count is 1-0. Coming sets Lopez. The 1-0 pitch. Called a strike, four-seam fastball outside corner, a little below the knees. Even home plate umpire was very slow to answer that. It's a 1-1 count, nobody on with one out. Here's the pitch. Check swing and the slider in the dirt. Did he go? No, says Blue down the third baseline, and the count is 2-1. Q-Man, are you talking about the question regarding the YouTube video you recommended for me? Because if that's the one, I did answer it about 5 minutes ago. The 2-1 pitch. Slider bounces out there in front of home plate, ruled a ball, and the count is now 3 balls and 1 strike. But I'll repeat myself again, Q-Man, if indeed that is what you're referring to. Oh, I see what it is now. The 3-1. Four-seam fastball out and away, ruled a ball. So a one-out walk there by J.J. Weatherall, and here comes Ivan Herrera. Ivan Herrera, 1 for 1 with a run scored, hit a ground rule double. Q-Man, Paul, would you consider doing a post-game show with J.D. Haffren of Locked On Cardinals? Would probably get you 500 or 600 subs. He's over 10,000. Perhaps. I'll get more into that in a moment. Runner leads off first. Here's Herrera, the first pitch. Fouled back down behind home plate on the slider away. The count is 0-1. Well, naturally, I would need an invitation. You know, when it comes to that, I'll give you more insight here in a moment. So a runner on first with one out. Righty-righty matchup with Herrera at the plate. Leading is Weatherall. Lopez deals, and he popped him straight up. It seems to be around the area around home plate. Coming in as the first baseman, he squeezes it for the second out of the inning. So, in fact, Ivan Herrera fouls out there for the second out. So, Q-Man, as far as that goes, it's really a matter of a few things. One is I'd have to be invited. And, I come out of the podcasting world and the online print world. And, the one thing you never really do is get a hold of someone and say, what would you interview me, or would you like the opportunity? Runner leads off first. Pitch to Burleson. A slider down and in, called a ball. And the count is 1-0. Alec Burleson is 0 for 1. So it would be a matter of having, Locked On Cardinals reach out to me. Alec Burleson, 0 for 1 at the ground out, 278, 13 home runs, 57 RBIs. Leading off first is Weatherall. Coming set is Lopez. The 1-0 pitch. Up and away, a four-seam fastball out of the zone. The count is 2-0. So, yeah, of course I'd be amenable to that. I have a lot of respect for the Locked On Network. They do good work. I just have to get an invitation, but if I do, I would definitely do that. Coming sets Lopez. He throws, and he throws over to first. Back in time is Weatherall with the head first slide. Count remains 2-0. So, I mean, that's really where it all comes down to. And in time, more people notice things like that will eventually come in. Coming sets Lopez. Righty-lefty matchup to Burleson. The pitch. Just got a piece of it. Number out there in front of the plate. He's going down there. Catching pants on it. Throws to first. And in time for the third out of the inning. So a swinging bunt that only goes about 5 feet out in front of home plate. Catcher pounces on it. Throws to first. Gets Alec Burleson just in time. And that will do it. So, no runs, no hits, 1 walk, 1 left on. We head to the bottom of the third inning, all tied at 1 down at Truist Park in Cumberland, Georgia. I'm Paul D. And if you're enjoying my call Redbirds action here on Game Mike, do leave a like. It really is doing a lot to help the channel grow and to get out to more interested viewers. And if you like what you see and you're not subscribed already, hit subscribe. We'd love to have you. With that said, I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Bike. Okay. Nick, 80 likes, 200 people watching. Hit that like button. Thank you, Nick. Reese K. Yeah, I didn't think about a squibber. Yeah. Soko. Top of the lineup needs to pick it up. Very much so. When you're not getting production out of Weatherall or Herrera in a particular game, the offense tends to sputter. John Niederer. Thank you, John. Brother Joe, just know, Paul D, we were in the Lions' den and we were representing. Thank you, Brother Joe. No, you guys are awesome. Obviously, I don't have any issue with you guys watching other streams when I'm not doing one. This is never a state of affairs that I particularly enjoy because I like trying to call every game, but life gets in the way. But I am curious if you guys are willing to share. What was your impression of some other streamers that you saw calling the game? If you're up for it, your reflections are actually quite helpful. I don't get a huge opportunity to watch others now because most of the time they're doing it when I'm doing it. Stepping up to the plate is Mateo, the right-hander, hitting 266. Righty-righty matchup. Here's a pitch. A sweeper well in and off the plate. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. Braylon Beasy, terrible. Oh boy, why is that? Coming sets McGreevy. He winds the 1-0 pitch. Popped up out there in the infield. Underneath it is Burleson. He makes the catch for the first out of the inning. So Mateo pops out there. Alec Burleson came all the way out into the infield grass about even with the mound to put that one away for the first out of the inning. Yes, the Cubs did score 23 runs. Yes. Now back to the top of the order with the lefty Baldwin. He's 1 for 1. Righty-lefty matchup. Nobody on with 1 out. The pitch from McGreevy. Changeup just off the plate. Ruled the ball. The count is 1-0. Joe Breeding. If I may make you laugh, I did my job. Had a good AI format, but now nowhere near as good as your calling, hands down. Well, thank you, Brother Joe. Coming sets McGreevy, the 1-0 pitch. Swinging strike on the cutter up and away. Swinging underneath that one was Baldwin, and the count is 1-1. Robots and loud backgrounds. That's actually something quite interesting. I'm not going to nerd out on audio, but I'll give you some idea of what's going on there. Coming set, the 1-1 pitch. Check swing on the four-seam fastball upstairs. It is indeed ruled a ball, and the count is 2-1. When you have crowd noise, a mistake a lot of folks in my position will make. Get back to the moment. Righty-lefty matchup with the lefty Baldwin. Coming set, he deals. Hit to the left side, fielded there by Blaze Jordan, halfway between second and third, throws to first in time for the second out of the inning. A very nice play there by Blaze Jordan in the shift against the left-hander. He was literally even between second and third and right up on the lip. One thing that they do is they have issues with their EQ, which is called equalization, and they don't take out the lower portions of the audio information there. Now here's Albies, the first pitch. Cutter up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Albies 1 for 1. Next pitch is going to be McGreevy's 40th. Righty-lefty matchup. Nobody on with 2 out. It's a 1-0 count. Coming Juan McGreevy, the 1-0 pitch. Swinging strike on the slider on the outside corner. Swung underneath that one, did Albies, and the count is 1-1. There's a way of getting that low-end information of the sound so you're actually able with your voice to cut through the mix. Looking in is McGreevy. He comes wide. He deals. A changeup just off the outside corner ruled the ball. 87 miles an hour. The count is 2-1. Yesterday's game was the only guys calling the game on YouTube were Braves guys. They suck so bad. I'll get to that in a moment. It's a 2-1 count. McGreevy looks in. He comes to the full wide. He deals. A four-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone. The count is now 3 balls and 1 strike. So bad I turned on AM 1120. Yeah, you went to KOMOX. I don't blame you. But it didn't come in good. Really missed you. Glad you're back so much better. Well, thank you so much, John. I really do appreciate that. 3-1 count here at Albies with nobody on, 2 out, bottom of the third, all tied at 1. The pitch from McGreevy. Chopped down the first base side, now to play on the cutter. And the count is now 3 balls and 2 strikes. Basically, anytime you have any sort of background, you need to make sure your voice cuts through it and they don't take out the low end. That's really the problem. From the full line, McGreevy, he looks in. The 3-2 to Albies. Chop foul down the first base side and out of play. Brave streamer lackadaisical and more computer game than an authentic experience from the stadium. I think I know who you're talking about. Looking in is McGreevy. It's a 3-2 count. Righty-lefty matchup. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Hit on out there to right field. Going back is Jordan Walker looking up, and it is gone. A solo home run on the bat of Ozzie Albies. And now the Braves, they take a 2-1 lead. That was a long fly there. Jordan Walker did the teammate-like thing by drifting back with it, but it was over the high wall, probably about 6 rows deep, and the Braves now have a 2-1 lead. A 2-out solo home run by Ozzie Albies, and he really got all of it. That thing was basically dead red. Right down the middle, about belt high. With a guy like Albies right now, it's just not a surprise. So it is 2-1. Oh, excuse me. Got the wrong one there. Here's the pitch. A slider down and away and out of the zone. And the count is 1-0. Righty-lefty matchup here against Matt Olson with nobody on, 2 out. 1 already in for the Braves. Coming Wands McGreevy, the 1-0. Swinging strike on the cutter in, and the count is 1-1. 47th pitch here for McGreevy. John Nieder, you are good. I'm new here, but I appreciate your style. Thank you so much, John. That means a lot to me. I do put my effort here, and I'm glad you guys appreciate it. Coming one, the 1-1 pitch. A four-seam fastball low and out of the zone. The count is 2-1, 93 miles an hour, the right hand of McGreevy. Solo shots won't lose a ball game. Settle in, McGreevy. Yeah, you're right. You don't want the crooked numbers, as the old saying goes. Righty-lefty matchup, Molson's 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. Hit to the right side and foul down the first base side on the curveball. And the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. All right. Let's see what we can get here. It's a 2-2 count. Nobody on, 2 out. Bottom of the third inning. 2-1 Braves. 1 already in. Coming wide, McGreevy. He deals. A changeup just off the outside corner ruled a ball, and the count is now 3 balls and 2 strikes. Back onto the bump is McGreevy, and in the box is Olsen. He's 0 for 1. Coming wide, he deals. Hit out there into right field. Going back is Jordan Walker in front of the wall. He makes the catch for the third and final out of the inning. So, 1 run, 1 hit, no walks, nobody left on. After 3 full innings of play, it is 2-1 Atlanta here in the second game of 3 in this midweek series. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mic. So, let's see here. Pardon me a moment, just checking something that's necessary. Okay. I thought I had fixed this, but clearly I had not. Make sure to get it right. Last thing you want is giving out information that is inaccurate on the ticker. Hopefully that works and that it's all set again. I apologize. Anywho, so let's take a look at the chat. Joe Breeding, Greavy, shut him down. Don't play. Not tonight, sir. Good job, Walker. Good job, McGreevy. Definitely. David Hodge, it's Walker Tater time. Well, I really hope it is. No doubt. But whatever the situation may be, due up here for the Cardinals is Jordan Walker, Nootbaar, and Wynn. So 4, 5, 6 in the order. I'm not entirely sure where Lopez is at this point. He's already thrown 3 innings. His line is 3 innings, 2 hits, 1 run earned, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. And that's the story there. If I comment frequently, it's just triggering the algo. I like how you operate, Reese. Still 3 subs away, no kidding. So we await the top of the 4th inning, and we are back for it. 2-1 Braves. The difference there is that solo shot by Albies in the last half inning. I believe that right now on the broadcast, they're focusing in on Jordan Walker's parents who are at the game. You know, Georgia's his home state. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch from Lopez. Chop foul down the third base side. Now to play on a curveball. Count is 0-1. So Jordan Walker 1 for 1 tonight with the RBI single that scored Ivan Herrera in the top of the first. Common sense Lopez, the 0-1. Just missed it, fouled back, tipped it. It was a curveball that hung on the inner third right below the belt. No doubt Walker would want that one back. Heck, I would want it back. And the count is 0-2. Sitting 290 with 18 home runs, 59 RBIs in 80 games at 857 OPS. Righty-righty matchup. Common set is Lopez. Time is granted by the home plate umpire at the behest of Jordan Walker, so we wait a little longer for the 0-2. I think he might be changing his bat. War cry indeed, Brother Joe, war cry. Let me hear your war cry. 200 people watching. There is no way you're all subscribed. Sub to the channel, please. Justin Beasley doing Justin Beasley things. So nobody on, nobody out. Top of the 4th inning, 2-1 Braves. Coming set is the righty Lopez. The 0-2 to Walker. Called strike 3 on the 4-seam fastball on the outer third above the knees. Down in the observatory goes Jordan Walker, and that's the first out of the inning. I'm surprised he took that all the way. That thing was basically middle away. Now, here's Lars Nootbaar. It'll be a righty-lefty matchup. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Wife of John here. I like your style, too. Thanks for your hard work. Go Cards. Well, thank you so much. Here's the first pitch to Newt. A slider down and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. I really do appreciate that. Thank you. Coming set below the belt is Lopez. He deals to Newt. Swinging strike on the 4-seam fastball upstairs. Nootbaar not able to capitalize on the cheddar from Lopez, and the count is 1-1. That was the 50th pitch for Lopez here. Nobody on with 1 out, 2-1 Braves, top of the 4th inning. The 1-1 to Nootbaar. A curveball, late called strike, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. There's nothing that drives me more crazy than a home plate umpire that takes a long time to signal. Coming sets Lopez. He deals. A slider down and in and out of the zone. The count comes even at 2-2. Back onto the bump is Lopez. And in the box is Nootbaar. It's a 2-2 count with 1 out. He deals. A slider down and away and out of the zone, and the count is now full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Coming set is Lopez. The pitch. Called strike 3 on the outer third at the knees. Nootbaar gets caught in the observatory for the second out of the inning. Laying off that outside. Did you get a good look at it? They didn't really go breaking ball away on him, so he wasn't offering it anything he shouldn't have been. The only problem was he didn't pull the trigger when he had a pitch that he could probably have probably drive. Now here's Mason Wynn. He's 0 for 1, and the first pitch hit to the left side, fielded there by the third baseman, wide of third, throws to first in time to get Mason Wynn flying down the line for the final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no walks, nobody left on after 3.5 innings of play. It is 2-1 Braves here in Game 2 of the 3-game weekday set. I'm Paul D. And if you're enjoying my call of Redbird action here on Game Mike and you haven't done so already, please do leave a like. It really is helping this channel grow considerably, and I very much appreciate it. And if you want to see more, by all means, hit subscribe. This is a great growing community of not just Cardinal fans, but baseball fans. And we're all a lot of fun. With that said, me here, you there, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Okay. Are we already over it? We're already over 100 so far? Oh, wow, yeah. How many? 27th game in a row? Oh, all I can say is thank you all so much. There's nothing I can really say or do that's commensurate with the outcome other than to say, you're awesome. Thank you. Joe Britting. I'm hoping he settles in where he needs to be and people can actually see that Joshua Baez is ready and been ready. I'm really curious to see him. You know, there is talk about him being a genuine 5-tool player. I know there's some issues with him right now in regards to swings and misses for balls in the strike zone. So we'll see what happens. It's very hard to know. All right, we are almost here for the bottom of the 4th inning. Ron Lyle, 101. Great job, Cat. Let's get to 200. Thank you so much, Thurman. Don't know why, but a swinging strike don't bug me as much. Oh, I'm the same way. If I had the ability, I would find my players for going down looking. Ah, good to see it, Max. Some action in the first 3 innings, but it's a 2-1 game. Coming Juan McGreevy, the first pitch. Looks like a slider wide, correction, a curve. To the lefty, Harris the second, and the count is 1-0. Harris is 0 for 1 tonight. Righty-lefty matchup, here's the pitch. Foul down the third base side, now to play on the sinker away, and the count it is 1-1. Over 100 likes is all Paul's fault. Shame on you, Paul. I will carry it with me to my grave, Q-Man, and then beyond. It's a 1-1 count, righty-lefty matchup. He comes wide, he deals. Four-seam fastball up and away, able to check his swing. There is Harris, and the count is 2-1. One more sub to 900. Boy, Justin, jeez. 2-1 count. McGreevy winds the pitch. Foul tipped on the cutter in. The count comes even at 2-2. So it's 2-1 Atlanta here in the bottom of the 4th inning. The difference there being the home run in the last inning. The solo job to right field. Getting back into the box is Harris. 55 pitches so far for McGreevy. And now they're interviewing Jordan Walker's folks. He's getting the true home cooking. Back onto the bump is McGreevy. There does seem to be slight delay here. He's back on the bump. It's a 2-2 count. McGreevy, he looks in. He comes wide. The pitch. Foul tipped on the curveball, down and away, and the count remains 2-2. McGreevy, 1, 2, 3. Let's go. I sure hope, Brother Joe. I really do. So nobody on, nobody out. Bottom of the fourth inning, 2-1 Atlanta. It's a 2-2 count to the lefty Harris. McGreevy's on the bump. He's in his fourth frame. The 2-2 pitch. Foul down the third base side and out of play on the four-seam fastball. Up and away. The count remains 2-2. So right now, for some reason, this particular half inning has been a bit laborious. I thought there was a pitch clock. Back on the bump is McGreevy. He deals. Hit to the right side. Fielded there on a couple hops by Weatherholt. Throws to first in time for the first out of the inning. So he bounces out into a 4-3 for the first out of the inning. All right. Charles Owen, I know I'm old, but I really enjoy hearing about you and your community talking about some of their early memories. I started going to games at Sportsman's Park. I wish I could have experienced that. I really do. Now, here's the first pitch to Dubon. Hit foul down the first base side on the four-seam fastball. The count is 0-1. In fact, Charles Owen, what are your memories of Sportsman Park? What was it like sitting there in the stands and watching a game? That's something I'd be curious to hear about. So nobody on, one out. It's an 0-1 count here to Dubon, who's 0-1. It's a righty-righty matchup. Coming wide, McGreevy. He deals. Foul down the first base side and out of play on the four-seam fastball away. And the count is 0-2. Now they have Jack Clark on YouTube reruns, right? Now it's pretty cool. There's so much baseball media out there that you can watch now from old games. The 0-2 pitch. And he hits it out there towards shallow right field. Going for it is Weatherholt, calling for it in shallow right. He makes the catch for the second out of the inning. So that is a fly out 4 in your scorecard for the second out. It really must have been amazing. I completely agree, Justin. I'm really big into ballparks. I've seen the vast majority of them. I still have a number of them, I think about a half dozen to see. But I'm kind of a stadium nerd. I just love that stuff. Now with 2 out and nobody on, here comes the DH Smith. First pitch. Chop foul down the first base side and out of play, and the count is 0-1. Lefty Smith is 0-1, so it is a righty-lefty matchup. Nobody on with 2 out, bottom of the fourth inning. 2-1 Atlanta. Next pitch is going to be the 63rd for McGreevy. Man, this is a very leisure-paced game. From the pull stretches, McGreevy, the pitch. Changeup down and away and out of the zone. The count is 0-1. Yeah, for some reason, this game is not clicking on a really good rhythm. I'm not entirely sure why, because they never show why. The 1-1 pitch. Hit on out there to right field. Right there is Jordan Walker. He snags it on the line for the third and final out of the inning. So the Braves, they go down in order. No runs, no hits, no walks, nobody left on. After 4 full innings of play, it is 2-1 Atlanta here in Game 2 of 3 in this weekday set. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Let's go to the chat. JoJo Spades, chicken wire in front of right field bleachers. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Let's see. Thurman. I must be too old, Charles, because I only went to the old Busch Stadium. Never went to the new one. The new one is, I would have to say, it's kind of underrated, really. But at the end of the day, what makes the new one so special is what made the old one special, and that's the fans, the team, and the tradition. But they really did a fantastic job of creating a stadium that really emphasized the aesthetic qualities that St. Louis is obviously known for. Red brick, the arch, the whole deal. The red brick behind home plate that crowns it. Legacy history, yes, Sir Paul D. Thank you, Brother Joe. All right. Due up at the top of the fifth inning is going to be Nate Church, Blaze Jordan, and Jimmy Crooks. 7-8. And up once again is Church, Jordan, and Crooks. The first pitch. Four-seam fastball away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. I don't know why that's so sluggish. Coming sets Lopez. He deals to Church. Foul down the third base side and out of play. And the count is 1-1. Nate Church hitting .256, 6 home runs, 23 RBIs, a 7-1 OPS in 64 games. He's 0 for 1 with a lineout tonight. Nobody on, nobody out, top of the fifth. The 1-1 pitch from Lopez. Swinging strike on the curveball, down and away and even in the dirt. And the count is 1-2. The feed is lagging. Hold on a second. I think, oh boy. Well, let's pray this one works. Here's the pitch. Hit foul down the left field side and out of play. And the count is, or remains, 1-2. Back into the box is Church. It is a 1-2 count. Lopez is back onto the bump. Okay, good. I figured out what the issue was. I'll tell you in a moment. The 1-2 from Lopez. Hit on out there into right center field. Over is the right fielder. He's underneath it for the first out of the inning. So Nate Church flies out to right for the first out here in the top of the fifth inning. The problem I had there is I had to temporarily turn my Wi-Fi on in order to airdrop something before I started, and I forgot to turn the Wi-Fi off. A cardinal rule, for the most part, when you are streaming is always having a hard line Ethernet connection. Now, here's Blaze Jordan. It's a righty-righty matchup. He's 0 for 1. First pitch from Lopez. Foul down the first base side and out of play on the four-seam fastball up. Clock 95 miles an hour out of the right hand of Reynaldo Lopez, and the count is 0-1. Back into the box is Blaze Jordan. It's a righty-righty matchup. He deals. Strike, four-seam fastball down Broadway underneath the belt. And the count is no balls and 2 strikes. Nobody on, 1 out. Top of the fifth, 2-1 Braves. Lopez from the stretch. The pitch. Hit to the right side. Picked up there by the first baseman Olsen. Walks over to the bag for the second out of the inning. So Blaze Jordan grounds out to first for the second out. Love the businessman specials. They can be a lot of fun. Hey, C. John. Good evening, friends. How are we looking tonight? It's a tight game. It's 2-1 Atlanta right now. Stepping into the box is the lefty hitting catcher, Jimmy Crooks. He's 0 for 1 with a flyout. He's currently hitting .154, 1 home run, 7 RBIs in 18 games, a .491 OPS. It's a righty-lefty matchup. Nobody on with 2 out, top of the fifth inning. Coming sets the righty Lopez. He deals to Crooks. A curveball just misses the outside corner away, and the count is 1-0. Jimmy Crooks really does have to pick up his offense here, or he's going to find himself in Memphis soon. Coming sets Lopez, the 1-0. Swinging strike on the four-seam fastball upstairs. Crook cannot keep up with the cheddar from Lopez, and the count is 1-1. I'll definitely be reading that out in the half inning. It's a 1-1 count. Coming sets Lopez. He deals. A four-seam fastball inside and off the plate, and the count is now 2 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, I'm definitely going to wait till the half inning so I can read it in its entirety. It's a 2-1 count. Sets below the belt. Does Lopez. He deals. Check swing on the slider down and away. Did he go? Yes, says Blue down the third baseline, and the count is even at 2-2. You can tell Jimmy Crooks is very frustrated with his offensive woes. You can just see it on his face when he goes after something he never would otherwise. You get the idea. He's back into the box. Coming set below the belt is Lopez. The 2-2 pitch. Swinging strike 3 on the slider, down and away and in the dirt for the third and final out of the inning. 1, 2, 3 go the Cardinals. No runs, no hits, no walks, nobody left on. We go to the bottom of the fifth inning. It is a 2-1 Atlanta lead. I'm Paul D. And if you haven't already and you are enjoying my call of Redbird action here on Game Mike, please do leave a like. It's doing really excellent things for this channel to get out there, and I very much appreciate it, and thank you those who have. And if you really enjoy what you're seeing, hit subscribe. We have a great cast of characters. Love to have you aboard. With that said, I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Okay, Charles Owen. My first memory, 1958. My dad took me to my first game. We sat in the center field bleachers. Stan Musial hit a home run. My dad told me someday he will be a Hall of Famer. Oh, absolutely. That's excellent. I love that. If you have any more, definitely keep sharing it, Charles. I love this kind of stuff. JoJo Spades. Good to see you, JoJo. Gibby came back, pitched on Sunday. Braylon with a $9 super chat. Oh, thank you so much. You guys are amazing. You really are. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it. And yes, for those who are not aware, I, through the channel here, can begin accepting super chats and super thanks. And if you are so predisposed, it is very much appreciated and certainly helps. And all I can say is thank you so much for those who have. But consider what I'm about to say as a favor from a friend. Please don't spend a penny on me here on Game Mike that you certainly need for yourself. That's all I ask. Otherwise, thank you so much, Braylon. For the second time tonight, we're back here in the bottom of the fifth inning, 2-1 Braves. Third baseman Riley going to be leading off, followed by Yastrzemski and Mateo. First pitch. That looks like a sweeper that just missed the outside corner. The count is 1-0. With Riley, he's 0 for 1. It's a righty-righty matchup. 65 pitches so far for McGreevy. Nobody on, nobody out. Bottom of the fifth. 1-0 pitch. Swinging strike on the slider. Down and away to Riley. And the count is 1-1. My memory is watching the Gateway Arch being built every day after school. I'll get to the rest of that in a moment. Coming one, McGreevy, the 1-1. A sinker inside, clear off the plate, and the count is now 2 balls and 1 strike. My memory is watching the Gateway Arch being built every day after school. I would see going up higher and higher. I think I was in the 4th grade. That was all the way back in the 60s, as I recall. Now, here's the 2-1 pitch. Fouled off his foot on the sinker away, did Riley, and the count comes even at 2-2. JoJo Spades. I forget if I was 65 or 66, but I went to a Sunday doubleheader by myself. We were playing the Cubs. James Hicks or Jim Hickman hit 3-homer in the top of the 9th for a sweep. Oh, that's awesome. McGreevy, he looks in. He won the pitch. Hit on down there at third base on a hop. Picked up on a short hop by Blaze Jordan. Throws to first in time for the first out of the inning. So despite the error earlier by Blaze Jordan, on that one, he picked it up on a couple of hops, and going towards the third hop, he kind of got it in between. Did a nice job getting it in the glove, making the transfer, and then the really hard, accurate throw to first to get the runner. Now, here's the lefty Yastrzemski, righty-lefty matchup. He's 0 for 1. Coming one, McGreevy, the first pitch to Yastrzemski. A four-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. As was confirmed in the chat earlier, this particular Yastrzemski, Mike, is a nephew of Carl Yastrzemski. He is 0 for 1 tonight with the lineout. The 1-0 pitch. A curveball called strike on the outside corner. That was actually a very favorable call. I'm surprised Yastrzemski did not challenge it. And the count is 1-1. Righty-lefty matchup. McGreevy looks in. He won the pitch. Fouled straight back on the cutter on the outside corner up, and the count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dwayne also remembers the arch being built. You know, given my age, I've always just thought of the arch as some permanent fixture, but yeah, in the 60s, as I recall. It's a 1-2 count. Back into the box is Yastrzemski. Back onto the rubber is McGreevy. He favors towards the first base side of the rubber. He looks in. He wants the 1-2 pitch. A changeup off the outside corner ruled a ball, and the count is now 2-2. John Snyder. I played ball as a kid, and I had dinner with Stan Musial on my 12th birthday. That is a memory that you take through your entire life. McGreevy looks in. The 2-2 pitch. A changeup down in the dirt and out of the zone. The count is now 3 balls and 2 strikes. Yastrzemski, he's back into the box. McGreevy looks in. He winds. He deals. A sinker out and away, and that's ball 4 to Yastrzemski. So, Michael McGreevy issues a 1-out walk to Mike Yastrzemski. Now, here's Mateo. He's 0 for 1. There's a runner on first with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Mateo, 0 for 1, is the right-hander. It'll be a righty-righty matchup. That was the 75th pitch for McGreevy so far. Runner leads off first with 1 out. From the stretch is McGreevy. He sets below the belt. He deals. Strike, 4-seam fastball. Absolute BB on the outside corner, and the count is 0-1. So Yastrzemski leads off first. Into the box is Mateo. Looking in to Crooks is McGreevy. Stepping off the rubber there is McGreevy, trying to get on the same page there as Jimmy Crooks. Once again, McGreevy generally throws to Ivan Herrera behind the dish, so this is kind of a new arrangement. Below the belt is McGreevy. Runner leads. The 0-1 pitch. Hit on down there, third base. Picked up by Blaze Jordan. Throws the second one on to first. Not in time. They get the lead runner in the way of Yastrzemski. However, Mateo beats the relay throw to first, and now he has a fielder's choice. But that is 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Excellent play there by Blaze Jordan. He got it on a single hop through to Mason Wynn covering, who took it in, had a great relay transition and relay throw to first. Mateo simply too fast. So no an inning-ending double play there. Common set. He throws over to first. Back in time with the head first slide is Mateo. At the plate is the leadoff hitter, Baldwin. He's 1 for 2. Bottom of the 5th inning, 2-1 Atlanta. Righty-lefty matchup. Runner leads off first. Here's the pitch. And it's a fly ball out there into left field, going towards foul territory. And Mason Wynn comes out of nowhere, picks it up out on the line for the 3rd and final out of the inning. Oh, what a play there by our boy Mason Wynn on the line in left field for the final out of the inning. So, no runs, no hits, 1 walk, a fielder's choice, 1 left on. After 5 full innings of play, it is 2-1 Atlanta here at Game 2 of 3 of this weekday set down in Truist. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. I will start from the bottom here. My dad's pal owned a bar on Spring and St. Louis Avenue. Chuck Berry played there from time to time. I love Chuck Berry. Let's see here. I know there's more. Well, I played Little League at HYNY Mini Field. On there, I met the Mad Hungarian. Oh, you met Al Hrabowski. Interesting. At Shake's Pizza, he gave me his autograph. Nice memory. That is awesome. You know, it's interesting because you always hope that these guys are more amenable to the fan interactions that are, just part of the experience of being a big leaguer. And some guys handle it better than others. That much is sure. John Williams. My uncle was an engineer on the Arch. Oh, wow. Nobody died building it. That's a big deal. There is a great film of the construction on YouTube and also in the Arch Grounds Museum. No kidding. I'm going to tell you a little story here about Paul D. So, I have a touch of claustrophobia. It's not like really problematic like when flying or things like that. But when I tried to get in that little eggshell train to go to the top of the arch, I had to bail. I was one of 5 people in there. It felt like a Star Wars, escape pod. And it just set something off in my mind. Now, here's the lefty, Dylan Todd. He is relieving Lopez. 21 innings pitched, a 2.57 ERA, and a whip of 0.90. 10.29 strikeouts, per 9. Stepping up to the plate is our boy, J.J. Wetherell. He is 0 for 1 with a walk. Comes set. Here's the pitch. A ball on a cutter on the outside corner. The count is 1-0. So if the Cardinals want to get back into this one, J.J. Wetherell's the man. Dodd comes set at the belt. The southpaw deals. Swinging strike on the slider upstairs down Broadway, and the count is 1-1. I remember watching on TV they flying home plate from Old Busch Stadium to Busch 22 via helicopter. Yeah, 261, 12 home runs here for J.J. Wetherell. Coming set is Dodd. He deals. Head on out there into right center field. Over is the center fielder. Picks it up on the line for the first out of the inning. So J.J. Wetherell flies out to center for the first out. He is now 0 for 2 with a walk. And here comes the righty, Ivan Herrera. It'll be a lefty-righty matchup. He steps into the box. He's 1 for 2 with the ground rule double and the run scored. The single run by the Cardinals tonight. Dodd comes set below the belt. Lefty-righty matchup with 1 out, nobody on. The pitch. Swinging strike on the slider up. The sinker up and in. The count is 0-1. Didn't somebody try to parachute onto the top of the arch? That sounds like something someone would do. Coming sets Dodd. He deals. Hit on down the first base line, and it appears to be slicing foul. And that's a long and loud second strike for Herrera. We watched them build the arch from Southside School window. That's an incredible memory. It's really one of the very best monuments in the country. It creates such a signature look for St. Louis. It's an 0-2 count. Nobody on with 1 out. Top of the 6th inning. 2-1 Atlanta. In is Dodd in relief of Lopez. The 0-2 to Herrera. A sinker upstairs and out of the zone. Clock 94 miles an hour. And the count is 1-2. Hodgkin Grade School. Okay. From the belt is Dodd. The 1-2 pitch. A cutter well inside. Actually gets away from the catcher. And the count is 2-2. All right, John. Guy died parachuting down. Nothing left of arch. Come in set. The 2-2 pitch. Hit foul down the third base side. Now to play on that cutter. Count remains 2-2. Yes, however, the parachutist died. He slid down the leg of the arch, unfortunately. That must have been horrifying. I don't even like thinking about it. So nobody on, 1 out. Top of the 6th. Time is granted by the home plate umpire at the behest of Ivan Herrera. On deck is the lefty Alec Burleson. A lot of World Cup fans there tonight wearing their kits, especially their England kit. Coming sets, Dodd. He deals. Hit to the left side. Right there is the shortstop. Stabs it on a line for the second out of the inning. So Herrera lines out to short. And we now have 2 outs. Here comes Alec Burleson, and it'll be a lefty-lefty matchup. Oh, a plane flew under it too, I believe. And then Thurman, I heard it was a helicopter. Honestly, I don't know. Now here's Alec Burleson. He's 0 for 2. The first pitch from Dodd. Swinging strike on the cutter up and away, and the count is 0-1. Patrick, you're not alone. I made the trip. It was close feeling. I'll tell you another thing here in a moment. Coming sets Dodd. The 0-1 pitch. A cutter downstairs and clear out of the zone. The count is 1-1. I didn't realize that there was actually auxiliary stairs on it, too. You can't take it unless it's some kind of emergency. I was just freaking out in case that thing, for whatever reason, couldn't open the door. I couldn't handle it. Coming sets Dodd. The 1-1 pitch. Well upstairs, and actually a little bit of chin music there towards Burleson. However, it was on a slider, and the count is 2-1. Nick. 123 likes, 202 people watching. Hit that like. Nick is doing his Vanguard thing. Coming set is Dodd. He deals. Swinging strike on the slider. Middle there. Very surprised that Alec Burleson did not unload on that one, but here we are. The lefty Dodd comes set. He deals to Alec. Swinging strike 3 for the third and final out of the inning. 1, 2, 3 go the Cardinals. No runs, no hits, no walks, and no belly up down. After 5.5 innings of play, it is 2-1 Atlanta here at game 2 of 3 in this weekday set. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Yeah. John. On the plane accident, the plane looked exactly like my dad's. We got a knock on the door at 6 a.m. in the morning by law enforcement. Oh, boy. The call numbers were different. My dad was working. Yeah, that must have been a startling experience. Thurman, it's a great view if you ever do go up, Paul. I might at some point. Just kind of suck it up. Now I know being able to get out of it's actually much easier, and you can actually walk downstairs. Patrick, someone threw a small plane through it. Yeah. Yep. Now, I might have asked this question before, everybody, but in terms of ballparks that you've actually been to, major league ballparks that are not Busch Stadium, which ones were your favorites and why? I'd love to know that. Q-Man, I saw the final piece on the arch being placed in 65 from my backyard at the time. None of the trees were large, and HY55 wasn't farther than Carodelet Park. Okay. Roger that. So due up here for the Braves in the bottom of the 6th inning is going to be Albies, who has that solo home run that's the difference in this game. First baseman Matt Olson, and then Harris the second. Albies, of course, is 2 for 2 with a run scored and a couple RBIs. He's really cranking it for them. Both Olson and Harris are 0 for 2 tonight. Thurman, I lived in Denver also for 20 years. You must have really strong lungs. Now, here's the lefty Albies. He's 2 for 2 off McGreevy. Here's the first pitch. Strike, curveball, outside corner at the knees, and the count is 0-1. Albies is the difference in this game tonight. 2-1 Atlanta. McGreevy, he looks in. He comes wide. He deals. A sinker off the plate away, clocked 89, and the count is 1-1. Albies is hitting .278, 13 home runs, 48 RBIs in 83 games, a .774 OPS. It's a 1-1 count. McGreevy looks in from the wide. Here's the pitch. Chop foul down the first base side now to play. Getting just a piece of that slider down and away, and the count's 1-2. Unfortunately, Fenway. The Green Monster was cool before they put seats up there. Yeah, the Monster seats have obviously been a very popular thing. I remember when they did that. I think they did in 03 or 04. It's been a real moneymaker for them. You'd have to pay a small fortune for even a single ticket. I've been to Fenway, and it's fine. I actually like Wrigley more of the two antique ballparks because it's, once again, a little bit less claustrophobic. And I've spent a lot more time at Wrigley. It's a 1-2 count. Here's the 1-2 pitch. A changeup out and away and clear out of the zone. The count is now 2-2. Dwight Smith. I like Candlestick Park. Haven't been to new Giants digs. How do you like Pac Bell Park? Well, it hasn't been called Pac Bell in a long time. It's now Oracle Park, and they've had about a half dozen others. Here's a pitch. Swinging cutter up and away, and he strikes out swinging for the first out of the inning. It was a check swing on a cutter up and away, and Albies just could not hold up on that one. He definitely went around. That's the first out of the inning. But Oracle Park, the Giants Park, it's actually a very impressive experience. I was there in April of 2025. Now, here's Olson. Here's the pitch. A changeup away and out of the zone. Count is 1-0. It's a righty-lefty matchup with the righty Tossin McGreevy against the lefty Olson. 0 for 2 with the ground out, and the lineup hitting .274 with 20 home runs in 83 games. Nobody on with 1 out. Bottom of the 6th inning, it is 2-1 Atlanta. McGreevy winds. He deals. There's a fly ball out there to right center field. Underneath it is Nate Church in front of the warning track. He pulls it in for the second out of the inning. So a long fly there by Matt Olson to right center field. He knows he just got under it. He was disappointed. Had he not, it would have been a solo home run. That last pitch was Michael McGreevy's 85th of the evening. Take a seat. Now here is Harris. Here's the first pitch. Cutter strike, outside corner below the belt. Actually, a rather generous call. Harris, the second, 0 for 2 with a pair of grindouts. He hit 292 with 14 home runs in 77 games. It's a righty-lefty matchup. Nobody on with 2 out, bottom of the 6th. The 0-1 pitch. Hit to the right side, and getting it on a hop there is... No, he got it on the line. Did J.J. Weatherall. Stabs it for the third and final out of the inning. I thought he had gotten it on a short hop, but apparently not. So, no runs, no hits, no walks, nobody left on. We go to the top of the 7th inning. It is 2-1 Atlanta here in Game 2 of 3 of this weekday set down at Truist Park. I'm Paul D., and if you haven't already, please do leave a like. It's really doing wonders for this growing channel, making sure it gets out to more Cards fans who have a lot of trouble watching every single game for, needing multiple subscriptions and not even knowing where it's on. Here on Game Mike, I'm calling almost every Cardinals game. And if you're enjoying your experience here, hit subscribe. We'd love to have you. With that said, me here, you there, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Q-Man. My oldest brother, 6'8", 340, too large for elevator of arch. He was a big dude, to say the least. All right. Thurman, it's starting to get late. Let's go Cards. Yeah, they really need to get this engine going. MNK. I like Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. So do I. It's actually a really good experience. Very underrated. I love how it just smells like barbecue the second you open your door in the parking lot. Let's see. Finn Griffin. Paul. Love the call today. As always, long-time listener from Huntsville and married into a die-hard Cardinal family. Appreciate all you do. Thomas. Thomas, thank you so much. That really does mean a lot to me. And every time somebody expresses that, I always try to find a way to, have a response that's commensurate with such kindness and encouragement. And all I can say is thank you very much, and I'm glad you enjoy it as much as I enjoy doing it. That's not a platitude. I definitely don't do those. All right, we are back here for the top of the 7th inning. Due up is Jordan Walker, followed by Newbar, and then Wynn. So 4, 5, 6 in the Cardinal order. And we got ourselves a new pitcher here. Didier Fuentes in 25 games, 31 in the third innings, pitch a 2.59 ERA and a whip of 1.12. It's a righty-righty matchup. The first pitch to Walker. Well upstairs and out of the zone. Four-seam fastball. The count is 1-0. Being from Vermont, I was only able to get to Fenway in the old Yankee Stadium. I have a question for you about that. Common sets Fuentes, the 0-1, swinging strike of the fastball up and away on the outside corner. It was a four-seamer. The count is 1-1. That's the thing, Ron. Tell me when did you see the old Yankee Stadium? Was it pre-renovation or post? Common set at the letters. He deals. Fouled straight back on the four-seam fastball up and in. He definitely would love that one back one from Fuentes, and the count is 1 2 strikes. For all you do, this bud's for you. Thank you, Thurman. Time is granted by the home plate umpire at the behest of Jordan Walker. Jordan Walker is 1 for 2 tonight. He is the one that has the RBI. Essentially the only run that the Cardinals have scored tonight on the RBI single to right back in the top of the first. Common sets Fuentes. The 1-2. Check swing on the slider away. Did he go around? No, he did not. He's able to hold on the breaking ball away, and the count is 2-2. 289, 18 home runs, 59 RBIs in 80 games. Coming set is Fuentes. They're going back to the outside corner. The 2-2 pitch. Swinging strike on the four-seam fastball upstairs. And that's the first out of the inning. Yes. Now here's Lars Nootbaar. He's over 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Though this is the first time he has faced the righty Fuentes. Righty-lefty matchup, nobody on with 1 out. Here's the pitch. A slider off the outside corner ruled a ball, and the count is 1-0. Oh, Zane, good to see ya. Welcome back. At the letters is Fuentes. The 1-0 pitch. Hit on out there into center field. Going back is the center fielder towards the track in front of the wall. He makes the catch there in front of the wall in right center for the second out of the inning. That was a very long fly there on the part of Lars Nootbaar. The problem was it just hung up a little bit too much, got underneath it a bit. Almost to any other part of the park, that probably would have been out and tying the game. However, it is a fly out to the center fielder, so a put out 8 in your scorecard. Now, here's Mason Wynn, the right-handed hitting shortstop for St. Louis. It's a righty-righty matchup. Nobody on with 2 out. Here's the pitch. A 4-seam fastball just misses the outside corner, and the count is 1-0. I think I was 8 or 9. I'll get back to that. Cummins sets Fuentes. He sets at the Birds. He's from the stretch. Here's the pitch. A 4-seam fastball off the outside corner ruled a ball. Clocked 98 miles per hour to the right hand of Fuentes. Counts 2-0. Hey, Brian Fisher. Good to see ya. It's a 2-0 count. Righty-righty matchup. Cummins sets Fuentes at the letters. He deals. Hit on out there into right field. Going over a few steps with the right fielder. He makes the putout for the third and final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no walks, nobody left on. It is 7th inning stretch time down at Truist Park. And I'm Paul D. And this is a 2-1 Atlanta lead. And this is Bombers Game Mike. Let's go back to the chat. 134 likes, 207 people watching. Hit that like button, everybody. J.M. Jones, let's go, win. Shiznit, absolutely. That's a great way of putting it. John Willems. Let's do the Norway soccer chant. Love it. Boom, boom, stroke. Oh, yeah. Referencing, of course, the Vikings. I've seen that. It was actually pretty cool. All right, let's see. All righty. Well, Ron, ultimately, so you were young. So what do you remember exactly what year it would have been you went to Yankee Stadium? Because then I could just reverse engineer it. It doesn't feel like we're losing. That's actually a really interesting way to put it. Oh, Quinn Bray, what's up, brother? Not a whole lot. How are you doing? It doesn't feel that way because they do feel in the game. Let's see what the Cardinals are doing here. Let's see if McGreevy's out there again. Yeah, he definitely should be. His pitch count's been pretty darn good. He's at 87 pitches right now. And from all I can tell, it looks like at the very least he's going to start the top of the 7th. You know, one of his big bugaboos has just been run support. We do good in late innings. Don't give up. Very true. Okay, you're there in 79. So that's post-renovation. That's the Yankee Stadium I grew up with. And, boy, do I miss it. I mean, I'm not going to get on the whole track about how much I miss the old Yankee Stadium compared to the new one. But, yeah, there's just something missing. That's a whole diatribe, really. Since my dog is watching, too, is there a second like button? Thank you, Q-Man. You're great. Jojo, Koufax, Drysdale. Okay. Marshall. First pitch. Down and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. So the righty Max Raychick is in relief of McGreevy, who went 6 innings, 2 earned runs. And this is the righty Dubon. It's a righty-righty matchup, the 1-0. A 4-seam fastball down and away and out of the zone. The count is 2-0. Due up for the Braves here is Dubon, Smith, and Riley. 5, 6, 7 in the Braves order. Cummins set is the righty Raychick. The 2-0 pitch. And he popped it up, going out there and goes well foul behind the plate. The count is now 2 balls and 1 strike. So Max Raychick made his Major League debut, I think, almost 2 weeks ago in Kansas City. Can't believe it's been that long. The 2-1 pitch. Whoa, just misses Dubon there. It was a sweeper. It goes all the way to the backstop. The count is 3-1. So 2-1 Atlanta here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Nobody on, nobody out. It's a 3-1 count here to the righty Dubon, who's 0 for 2. Righty-righty matchup with Max Raychick. He comes set at the belt. The pitch. Up and in, check swing. Did he go? No, he did not. So Max Raychick issues a leadoff walk to Dubon, and the Braves have a runner on first with nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. All right. Now here's the lefty Smith. He's 0 for 2. Righty-lefty matchup. Runner on first. Here's the pitch. A curveball right down Broadway called strike, and the count is 0-1. So right now, Max Raychick has a pretty clear remit. Keep Atlanta right there. It will be a challenge. He comes set at the belt. He deals. A four-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone. Clocked 95 miles an hour out of the right hand of Raychick. He's thrown 5 2/3 innings with a ERA of 6.35 and a whip of 1.41. He throws over to first. Back in time is Dubon, taking less than a 0 lead. Count remains 1-1. Smith is 0 for 2. Righty-lefty matchup. Coming sets Raychick. Here's the 1-1 pitch. A little high and away, the changeup. And the count's 2-1. Dominic Smith, the DH, he's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a lineout. From the belt is Raychick. The pitch. Chop foul down the first base side and out of play, and the count comes even at 2-2. What's up with the Dodgers talk? Koufax and Drysdale. Back onto the bump is Raychick. He's right here, 2-2. Dubon leads off first, following the leadoff walk. And he steps off the rubber, trying to get on the same page with Jimmy Crooks behind the dish. They're giving us a perspective of the view from the Braves dugout there for a moment. Time is granted by the home plate umpire at the behest of Dominic Smith, and the count remains 2-2. See, John, I had the opportunity to go to the old Yankee Stadium before teardown. It was a great time. I loved that old Yankee Stadium. Some of my greatest memories are at that ballpark. Coming set at the belt is Raychick. He deals. Hit on up the middle. Fielded there lightly there by Wynn. He goes to first, and he gets the runner at first. It was such a slowly developing play that Dubon is able to advance to second. However, they do get the runner at first, so Mason Wynn did a good job. He knew he didn't have the ability to get over to the second base bag in time in order to get the force of the lead runner. Now, here's Austin Riley, the right-hander, 205, 8 home runs, 37 RBIs. He's at third base tonight. Runner at second. Here's the pitch. Strike, curveball, inside corner at the knees, and the count is 0-1. So a runner on second with one out. It's a righty-righty matchup with the righty toss and Raychick against Riley. Runner leads off second. It's an 0-1 count. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swinging strike on the four-seam fastball upstairs. Riley couldn't keep up with the cheddar from Raychick, and the count is 0-2. So the Royals play the A's at Kauffman Stadium. Brett and Jackson both hit homers. Canseco did not. Coming set at the belt. He deals. And it bounced out there in front of home plate. Blocked very well there by Jimmy Crooks. Staying right there at second is Dubon. The pitch is obviously ruled a ball, and the count is 1-2. Burn him down Lake Sherman. Let's go, Oh, boy. I did not expect Civil War history to be referenced here. And timeout is called by the home plate umpire. They are refreshing him with new balls. In a given Major League games, on average, they use between 90 and 120 balls for every game. Runner leads off second. Coming set is Raychick at the belt. The pitch. Swinging strike three. Down goes Riley for the second out of the inning. You whistle, enthusiast. I got what you need. That's the second out of the inning. So, It's the bottom of the 7th. There is 2 outs with a runner on second. 2-1 Atlanta. A lot of 2s here at the moment. Now here comes Yastrzemski. It's a righty-lefty matchup. Runner on second with 2 out, bottom 7, 2-1 Atlanta. Here's the pitch. Foul down the left field side and out of play on the curveball away, and the count is 0-1 to Yastrzemski. He steps back into the box. Bucket list. I'd like to see the Cardinals play in all 30 Major League stadiums. That's a good bucket list. Coming sets, Raychick. Here's the 0-1 offering. In the dirt, blocked there by Crooks. Gets away from him. Going to third is Dubon on what you have to call a wild pitch. And that will put a runner on third with 2 outs. The pitch, of course, was ruled a ball, and the count is 1-1. That looked like it was probably a slider or a sweeper that he wanted to go down and in with, but it just didn't work out, and Crooks was not able to block it sufficiently. It got away from him. Now Dubon's down there at third. Mike Yastrzemski, the right fielder, 0 for 1 with a walk, 222, 4 home runs, 19 RBIs. The 1-1 pitch. Four-seamer down and in, ruled a ball, and the count is now 2 balls and 1 strike. Thurman. Seems like when we get good pitching, our hitting is lacking. That has very much been the case. It's a 2-1 count with the runner at third. The 2-1 offering. Hit to the right side and just fouled down the first baseline. And the count is 2-2. So with the runner at third, the Braves either need a hit or an error for the runner to come in. The old Tiger Stadium was great. I was there in '84. That's a heck of a year to be there, man. That was the last time they won the World Series. It's a 2-2 count. Runner at third with 2 out. Bottom of the 7th inning is 2-1 Atlanta. A fine start for McGreevy, but he's not getting the run support. Righty-lefty matchup. It's a 2-2 count to Yastrzemski. Time is graded by the home plate umpire at the behest of Mike Yastrzemski. The count remains 2-2. You know, when they stopped playing there, right, and they moved into Comerica, when I was in college, it was still all up in one piece. I thought about actually going out there and trying to break in and take pictures. That most certainly would have gotten me arrested. Coming set at the belt is Raychick, the 2-2. And he pops it on up there, and it goes well and foul down the third baseline. Count remains 2-2. Old Crosley Field was great too. Jojo, you went to Crosley, really? Yastrzemski is 3 for 25 with runners in scoring position and 2 outs this season. Runner leads off third. Coming set is Raychick. The 2-2 pitch. And it called a ball on the outside corner, challenged immediately there by Jimmy Crooks. And I got to tell you, I think it was actually a ball. If they happen to clip the zone, that's great, but it's a ball indeed. So the call is confirmed. The Cardinals lose one of their 2 allotted ABS challenges in regulation. It missed by 0.9 inches on the outside corner. And the count is now 3 balls and 2 strikes. So runner leads off third with 2 out, bottom of the 7th inning, 2-1 Atlanta. It's a 3-2 count to Mike Yastrzemski. Setting at the belt is Max Raychick, the 3-2 pitch. And it's ball 4 on the curveball up and away. So Yastrzemski works a 2-out walk, and the Braves have runners on first and third with 2 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And due up here is the shortstop, Mateo. It would have been a cool picture. I'd love to have gone there. Joaquin Andar had the same issue when he pitched years ago. Jorge Mateo, the shortstop, 0 for 2 at a fielder's choice. 261, 4 home runs, 11 RBIs, 719 OPS. Righty-righty matchup. Runners lead off first and third. Coming sets Raychick, the first pitch. A 4-seam fastball well up and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. And that thing came pretty up and in, to say the least, to be sure. Back into the box is Mateo. Of course, he's 0 for 2. Runner leads off first and third. Coming sets Raychick, the 1-0 pitch. Strike, 4-seam fastball, outer third, knee high, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Back into the box is Mateo. Runners lead. There are 2 out in the bottom of the 7th. Coming set is Raychick from the stretch. He deals. and popped straight on up in the infield. Calling for it is Blaze Jordan right there on the lip of the grass, and he calls it in for the third and final out of the inning. How about that? No runs, no hits, 2 walks, 2 left on. After 7 full innings of play, it is 2-1 Atlanta, getting late here at Truist Park in Game 2 of 3 of this weekend set. I'm Paul D., and if you haven't done so already, please do leave a like for this stream if you are enjoying it. It really is helping this channel grow and get out to more Cardinal fans so they have a place they can go every day and know where it is. We know the situation regarding the regional sports network and all the like. So by all means, if you haven't done so and you are inclined, please do leave a like. And if you really do enjoy and you're not subscribed yet, hit subscribe. It'd be great to have you here. We have so much fun. With that said, I'm Paul D., and this is Bombers Game Mike. Never went there. Let's see. Okay. Never went there, just seeing Cards playing Reds there on TV. Okay. Frank Robinson hitting grand slam in the bottom 6 to beat the Cards 4-3. Frank Robinson was something else. I sat in the rafters at Checker Dome. They hung off the ceiling. A drunk guy fell on me, and we almost fell right down to the next seats below. Oh, geez. My friends grabbed my arms, and I survived. Well, thank God you're here to tell the tale. Due up for the Cardinals here in the top of the 8th inning is going to be Nate Church, Jordan Walker, and Jimmy Crooks. 7, 8, 9 in the order. With Jimmy Crooks, it's hard to say if they might go a pinch hitting route, but really the only available option there would be Pedro Pajes, even though oddly enough he would be the upgrade offensively. We're back here for the top of the 8th inning. On the mound now for the Braves is the lefty Dylan Lee. In 38 games, he's 4-0 with a 0.97 ERA in 37 innings pitched. 44 strikeouts and a whip of 0.62. I mean, that's exactly what you want from your setup guy last time I checked, no doubt. So I just gave you his numbers a moment ago. And stepping into the box here for the Cardinals is Jose Fermin. He is pinch hitting for the lefty Church. It's a lefty-righty matchup. Here's the first pitch. Strike, slider, whispers over the black of the outside corner to Jose Fermin. The count is 0-1. He's hitting .264, 3 home runs, 15 RBIs in the 48 games, 9 extra base hits. The 0-1 check swing on the slider low. No appeal. The home plate umpire rules it a strike. He went around, did Jose Fermin for the second out. The second strike. He's back into the box. It's an 0-2 count, lefty-righty matchup with the lefty. Here's the 0-2. Hit on out there in the left field, going back towards the wall, at the very tip of the wall, and he catches it right on top of the yellow of the outfield wall in left for the first out of the inning. Oh, that thing went as far as it could go without going out. The left fielder was tracking it back slowly. He was up against the wall itself. It would have just gone over had he not made the catch. So he does, in fact, rob Jose Fermin of a game-tying solo home run to left. And it's a big and loud first out of the inning. Now here's Blaze Jordan. It'll once again be a lefty-righty matchup. First pitch from Lee. Well upstairs, a ball. And the count is 1-0. Oh, Thurman, I wish I didn't have to. It's a 1-0 count. Lefty-righty matchup. The 1-0. Swinging strike on the slider away, and the count is 1-1. Clock 79 miles an hour out of the left hand of Lee. He comes set at the belt. He deals. A slider just low. It had the plate, but it was below the knees, and the count is now 2-1 strike. On deck is Nelson Velasquez. So I'm guessing that what they'll do if we get to that, well, we will. Stand by. The 2-1. Strike, changeup, whispers over the black of the outside corner to Blaze Jordan, and the count is now 2-2. So Nelson Velasquez is going to be hitting for Jimmy Crooks, which means Pajes is going to be catching in the final frames. Coming set is Lee, the 2-2 pitch. A four-seam fastball well inside and out of the zone. The count is 3-2. Back into the box is Blaze Jordan. Nobody on with one out. Top of the eighth inning. 2-1 Braves. A 3-2 pitch. Swinging strike three on the slider. Down and in for the second out of the inning. That one didn't look very good, folks. I'm not going to lie. Now, here's Nelson Velasquez. We all know what he did last night. A solo home run that he absolutely crushed. Basically to dead center. Landed just beyond the waterfalls in center field for Truist Park. That's the thing you got to remember about Nelson Velasquez, is that he tends to punish mistakes in the strike zone. Nobody on with two out. Top of the eighth inning. Lefty-righty matchup. First pitch, Nelson Velasquez. Swinging strike on the slider low, and the count is 0-1. He's back into the box. Back on the bump is Lee. He sets to the belt. He deals. A slider down and in and out of the zone. Clocked 82 miles an hour, and the count is 1-1. Velasquez in 16 games, 316, 3 home runs, 7 RBIs, and 5 extra base hits in part-time action. He's usually used in a platoon. From the belt is Lee. He deals. Swinging strike on the four-seam fastball up and in, and the count is 1-2. We need a Cardinals war cry. What would be a good one? I like boom, boom, stroke. I think we can figure one out. Time is granted by the home plate umpire at the behest of Velasquez. He steps it back into the box, adjusts his helmet. Coming set is Lee. He deals. A slider down and away and in the dirt, and the count comes even at 2-2. So 2-1 Atlanta here in the top of the eighth inning. There is nobody on with two outs. Nelson Velasquez hitting here for Jimmy Crooks. Coming set. Here's the pitch. A slider up and away and clear out of the zone. The count is now full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Nelson Velasquez. He's undoubtedly looking for his pitch to hit. On deck, of course, is J.J. Weatherholt. Coming set is the southpaw Lee. The 3-2. He goes down swinging for the final out of the inning. So, the Cardinals go down in order. No runs, no hits, no walks, nobody left on. We go to the bottom of the eighth inning. It is 2-1 Atlanta here in Game 2 of 3 in this weekday set down at Truist Park. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mic. Well, if there's anything I can do that would say put a positive spin on things, is that when the Cardinals go up for the top of the ninth, they'll have their top of the order to take their best hack at it. Let's see. Okay. Well, right now this game is very tight, and it does basically hangs on the knife's edge, to say the least. But that's what we're dealing with. Guessing he went fishing low and away. No, it wasn't that bad. Anyway, due up for the Braves, they have the top of the order in Baldwin, Albies, and Olsen. Of course, Albies is the difference in this game with his solo home run, I believe, back in the third. So 1, 2, 3 in the Braves order. As far as I can tell, Rashik is still in the game. I don't yet see a pitching change. He's come in relief of Michael McGreevy, who threw 6 shutout innings. And Rashik got into a little bit of trouble in the bottom of the 7th, but managed to get out of it unscathed. So cheers to that. Paul, do you remember, was it true that when Ty Cobb played base paths were shorter? Shorter, you mean like the distance between the bases? I don't think so. I think at that point, because, he played in the 1910s, some of the 1920s. I think it was standard 90 feet between each base. That is my recollection of it. And that, I think, has, applied ever since. Alrighty here. Can't blame pitchers tonight. Shake my head. This is very true. And now, here's the first pitch. And it's a sweeper away. In now is the lefty Justin Brule. In 36 games and 37 innings pitched, has a 3.89 ERA and a whip of 1.43. Lefty-lefty matchup against the lefty Baldwin, the leadoff hitter. He's 1 for 3. Here's the pitch. A sweeper away and out of the zone. The count is now 2 balls and no strikes. Jose Fermin is now in center field for Nate Church, and Pedro Pajes is behind the dish. So that's pretty much how that worked out. It's a 2-0 count. 2-0 from Justin Brule. Strike, sinker, right down Broadway at the knees. Clock 90 miles an hour from the southpaw, and the count is 2-1. They just had smaller gloves. You could actually buy those gloves now. Come in set. The 2-1 pitch. Up and in, a sinker and out of the zone. The count is 3-1. I think they're called, like, the brand is the Shoeless Joe gloves. Come in set is Brule. Nobody on, nobody out. Bottom of the 8th, 2-1 Atlanta. Here's the pitch. Hit out down the left field side and slices foul. And the count is full, 3-2. Yeah, the mound height has been adjusted. Yeah, that's the big thing. And the bases are larger now, too, which is interesting. Coming set is Brule, the 3-2. A sinker up and in, so Baldwin works a leadoff walk in the bottom of the 8th for the Braves. They have a runner on first with nobody out. Now, here comes Albies, the 2-hitter. We know what he did earlier. It'll be a lefty-righty matchup. Baldwin leads off first with the free pass to lead off the inning. Albies, the difference in this game, he's 2 for 3. Lefty-righty matchup, the first pitch. Swinging strike on the slider, up and away, and the count is 0-1. You know, if there's one cardinal sin in pitching, it's always walking the leadoff guy. Come in set is Justin Brule. Runner leads off first. The 0-1 pitch. Hit to the left side. Fielded there at a hop by Blaze Jordan. He boots it, and everybody's safe. Oh, he butchered that thing. It was an easy hop for Blaze Jordan. He looks like he got ahead of himself, like he was trying to almost think about throwing to second before he had actually gotten the ball in his glove. And that puts runners on first and second with nobody out here on the error by Blaze Jordan. Had he fielded that cleanly, he also lost his balance somewhat on his heels. Had he brought it in properly, that probably would have been a double play. So there's runners on first and second, nobody out. Now here's Matt Olson. It's a lefty-lefty matchup. He's 0 for 3. Runners lead off first and second. Here's the pitch. And he popped it straight up in foul territory going towards the on-deck circle, and it goes about 5 or 6 rows deep, and the count is 0-1. Runners on first and second, nobody out. Bottom of the 8th, 2-1 Atlanta. Matt Olson here, the lefty, is 0 for 3 tonight. Ground out, line out, foul out. Justin Brule has to keep it right here if the Cardinals have a chance in the 9th. He comes set above the belt. The pitch. Up and in, a four-seam fastball well out of the zone, and the count is 1-1. Olson's back into the box. Runners lead. Coming set is Brule just above the belt. The southpaw deals. Foul down the third base side and out of play on the sinker. And the count is 1-2. Arena/Checker Dome was outstanding. Oldest of the old school wood frame dome stadium. Whole lot of peak rock and roll shenanigans went on under the roof and out in the parking lot. I miss old St. Louis. Now here's the 1-2. Four-seam fastball just misses the outside corner. It is ruled a ball, and the count is even at 2-2. Blaze New at third. Yeah, this has been his hardest game defensively that I recall. It's a 2-2 count. Runners lead off first and second with nobody out. Bottom of the 8th, 2-1 Atlanta. Coming set is Brule, the 2-2 to Olson. There's a fly ball out to right field. Going towards the line, running it down is Jordan Walker. He's just at the line. He makes the catch. He tosses it back in. The runner goes into third with a sacrifice fly. And that'll put runners on first and third with one out. So a productive out there by Olson, getting the runner from second to third. And now there are runners on first and third with one out. Due up here is the center fielder, Michael Harris II. He's 0 for 3. It'll be a lefty-lefty matchup against the left-hand hitting Michael Harris. Runners lead off first and third. The lefty Brule is on the bump. Once again, this is a lefty-lefty matchup. Runners lead. Coming step above the belt is Brule. The first pitch to Harris. Hit to the left side and into left center field for a base hit. So the runner will score from third. Going all the way to third is the runner from first. And now the Braves once again have runners on first and third and only one out. And it is now a 3-1 Braves lead. So Justin Brule giving up the goat here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Looking back at this pitch here, it was down and in that classic lefty swing path. My guess is it was probably trying to give a sweeper inside, but it just didn't happen. He served it out there in the left center field, and the runner scored easily there from third. So it's a 3-1 count. Should be the 3-1 lead for Atlanta. Runners on first and third, one out. And we have ourselves a pitching change. Coming in is the right-hander, Gordon Graceffo. So Justin Brule gets the old hook. He's going to the showers. He has allowed one run. Both of the runners, both first and third, are still his responsibility. So we have ourselves a pitching change. The numbers on Graceffo this year, in 33 games, he's 5-1 with a 3.26 ERA in 38 2/3 innings pitched. He has 17 strikeouts and a whip of 1.11. And coming in, he will face Dubon, and on deck is Smith. Dubon is 0 for 2 with a walk. All right. We await the finish of the pitching change. Oh, I hope there is a triple play, Thurman. I really do. That would be fantastic. But in any case, the Braves, they most certainly give themselves some insurance runs here. Should the Cardinals mount a rally in the top of the 9th. I completely agree, C. John. Pete Rose never bet against his team. Yeah, I mean that's what he had always maintained to his deathbed. I don't know if we'll truly know the answer to that, though there probably are some out there who could influence that conclusion. All right, I gave you the numbers on the righty Gordon Graceffo just a moment ago. And as far as Pete Rose goes, he never lived a day to see his ability to be truly elected to the Hall. He got his punishment, no doubt. Now here's the righty left fielder, Dubon. It's a righty-righty matchup. Runners on first and third with one out, one already in, 3-1 Atlanta. He shows bunt, and he pushes it down the first base side. Fielded there by Alec Burleson. On the bare hand, throws home, but in time is the runner, as far as we can tell. And I believe that will give Atlanta a 4-1 lead. It was a bizarro play, and there are runners on first and second. Alec Burleson came way in. It was on a push bunt. He charged at it, managed to pick it up with his bare hand, throw it home with his momentum going away from the plate to see if they could get the runner at home, but it simply was not in time. The runner is safe, and that gives the Braves a 4-1 lead. Now here's the pitch. Four-seam fastball just off the outside corner, and the count is 1-0. The lefty Smith, it's a righty-lefty matchup. Runners on first and second, one out, two already in here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The righty Gordon Graceffo in for Justin Brule, who started the inning. It's a righty-lefty matchup. Setting at the Birds is Graceffo. He deals. A slider down and in and out of the zone. The count is 2-0. Back into the box is Smith. Runners on first and second with one out. It's a 2-0 count. Coming set at the Birds is Graceffo. The 2-0 hit to the right side and past the doubling line of Weatherall. Coming in is the runner from second. There's a throw in there. Did he get him? He is out at the plate. Oh, what a play by Jordan Walker to nail the runner at the plate. The throw was slightly offline. They're calling here for an official review. when Paz took in the ball on a hop there from Jordan Walker out of right field, he managed to hold on to it and get the runner going down the line. We have an official review here. Let's see what exactly we have. Oh, I think he got him. Let's see. Yeah, well, maybe. Slow it down. Bring it back, guys. So there are runners on first and third officially with 2 out. They are not going to review it. So Jordan Walker nails the runner at the plate to save another run. Coming set at the Birds is Graceffo. The first pitch hit to the left side and past a lunging, diving Mason Wynn into left field. An RBI single, and that will give the Braves a 5-1 lead. So the runner scores from third on the RBI single to left. It was one of those seeing eye singles. Mason Wynn tried to get into that hole on the left side, diving head first, but he could not haul it in. And that's the 5th run here. 3 already in for Atlanta here in the bottom of the 8th inning. So runners lead off first and second with 2 out. It's 5-1 Atlanta. Here's a lefty Yastrzemski, righty-lefty matchup. Yastrzemski's 0 for 1. Here's the first pitch of Yastrzemski. Strike, 4-seam fastball on the outside corner, down and away, and the count is 0-1. Yastrzemski, a line out, a walk, and a walk. 0 for 1. Runners lead off first and second. Setting at the Birds is the righty Graceffo. The 0-1 pitch. A change up away and off the plate. Ruled a ball. The count is 1-1. Yeah, they are making the 9th inning a lot harder, unfortunately. Runners lead off first and second. 3 already in here in the bottom of the 8th for Atlanta. The 1-1 pitch. Blocked very well there by Pages on the changeup in the dirt. The count is 2-1. Jordan to Pages indeed. Runners lead off first and second. There are 2 outs here to the lefty Yastrzemski. Coming set at the Birds is Graceffo. He's from the stretch. He deals. Strike, slider just whispers over the black of the outside corner above the knees, and the count comes even at 2-2. Oh, you really Q-Man? You saw? Wow, that's really cool. Get to see Led Zeppelin. Coming set is Graceffo. The 2-2 pitch. Swinging in the curveball, down and away for the 3rd and final out of the inning. However, the Braves, they put 3 up in the bottom of the 8th as insurance run. It is 5-1 Atlanta going to the top of the 9th inning. I'm Paul D, and if you are enjoying my call of Redbirds action here on Game Mike tonight, and you haven't done so already, please do leave a like. It really is helping the channel get out to more Cardinals fans and baseball fans. We all know the broadcast situation right now. And here on Game Mike, I'm calling almost every game. And I always make sure to emphasize almost because, you know, life happens regardless of what your plans may be. And I very much appreciate it, and it's really helped the channel grow. And if you want to see more and you're not subscribed already, hit subscribe. We'd love to have you. With that said, I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. 5-1 Atlanta going to the top of the 9th. CH Man, hey Paul D, how are you? Left you a like while preparing for my game. Well, thank you so much, CH Man. When I'm done here, I will put on your stream and watch you a bit. I look forward to that. Thank you so much. Desmond Castro. Yes. Lanta, greetings, friends from Las Vegas, future home of the Athletics. Yes, they are. It's going to be a really interesting-looking ballpark, too. It's the Sydney Opera House, but they're playing baseball, just as God intended. Okay. Why not start with Graceffo in the 8th? Ollie does not know how to manage our plan. He was trying to neutralize lefties that were due up. I think that's the extent of it. That's the thing about the Braves team. They will expose your weaknesses. Most good teams do, no doubt. CH Man, thanks. All the feedback. Appreciate it. Go Cards. Rally time. Thank you so much, CH Man. You got it. Our fearsome pen scares me to death. Cheers to that, Dwayne. Like I said, there are times when you guys are just really, really funny. And sometimes I'll go back and look at the chat. All right. Here is the righty Iglesias. Righty-lefty matchup. First pitch. Strike. Sinker inside corner to J.J. Weatherholt. And the count is 0-1. It's a righty-lefty matchup. Iglesias is coming in trying to pin this down. The 0-1 pitch. A sinker low on the inside corner. And the count is 1-1. Rafael Iglesias in 26 games, 27 in the third innings pitch, an ERA of 1.32 and a whip of 1.02. The 1-1 pitch. Change-up strike right down Broadway, and the count is now 1-2. That is a pitch that I'm surprised Weatherholt did not unload on. Putting a change-up middle like that is batting practice. Just a weird observation. It's happened a few times tonight. Not necessarily on a change-up, just middle. Nobody on, nobody out. The 1-2 from Iglesias. Hit to the left side, fielded there by the shortstop, throws to first in time, gets Weatherholt by a step for the first out here in the top of the ninth. So, the Cardinals, they have 2 outs left to play with. Stepping into the box is Ivan Herrera. Iglesias has 16 saves this year. The first pitch to Herrera. Strike, sinker down and in at the knees, and the count is 0-1. And he has some pretty good stuff, clearly. Come in one, the 0-1 Herrera. Hit on out there to left field, slicing foul and into the stands, and the count is now 0-2. Herrera, the ground rule double, a foul out, and a lineup. He's 1 for 3. He scored the Cardinals' only run tonight. Come and set. The 0-2 pitch. Swinging strike 3 on the slider, well out and away for the second out of the inning. So the Cardinals are down to their last strike here in the top of the ninth. 5-1 Atlanta. They have put it all together tonight. The Cardinals never really got rolling offensively. And once again, that's the bugaboo there for Michael McGreevy, who threw 6 innings of 2-run ball. Not great. Not great. Now, here's Alec Burleson. It'll be a righty-lefty matchup. Cardinals are down to their last out. Coming Juan Iglesias. He deals. Swinging strike on the changeup down and in, and the count is 0-1. Another pitch that you're kind of shocked that he didn't swing at, given its location. Iglesias deals. And he popped him on up out there into foul territory on the left-hand side, but it goes well foul. And the count is now no balls and 2 strikes. So the Cardinals are down to their last out. Right there for Alec Burleson. Nobody on, 2 outs, no 2 count, top of the ninth. Here's the pitch. A 4-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-2. Stepped out to Waterflames before dark. Came in at 5-1 now, yeah. The 1-2 pitch. Fouled straight back on the 4-seam fastball. Goes directly behind home plate. And the count remains a 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Iglesias is definitely showing his prowess as the closer for Atlanta. Once again, it's a righty-lefty matchup. Cardinals down to last strike. The 1-2 to Burleson. Fouled straight back on the 4-seam fastball up and away. Clocked 95 miles an hour out of the right hand of Iglesias. And the count remains 1-2. Last licks here for the Cardinals. In the box is Alec Burleson. He deals. Popped him straight on up out into left field. Underneath it is the left fielder calling for it. He makes the catch. And that is your final. The Braves take Game 2 by a score of 4-1. Unfortunately, McGreevy will take the loss in this one despite how well he pitched. Disappointing outing. The Cardinals' offense just didn't get moving tonight. And it's deeply unfortunate to say the least. But them's the breaks sometimes. So 5-1 Braves is your final in Game 2 of 3. As a programming note, and as shown there in the ticker continuously, I will be back tomorrow for the third and final game, the rubber match against Atlanta. First pitch down at Truist Park down in Cumberland, Georgia, is scheduled for 6:15 p.m. Central Time. I will begin the play-by-play here on Game Mic at 6:05 p.m. Central Time. So Game 3 tomorrow night, first pitch down in Georgia, 6:15 p.m. Central Time. I begin the live stream play-by-play here on Game Mic at 6:05 p.m. Central Time. Good job with the calls. See you tomorrow. You got it, Ron and Lyle. Be well. Reese, sounds gross, but that was a well-pitched L, Mr. McGreevy. Unfortunately so. Desmond Castro, great job on the play-by-play calls, bud. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you so much, Desmond. Justin Beasley, good night, chat. Great call as always, Paul D. See you all tomorrow night. Thank you so much, Justin. Q-Man saw a Ty Cobb movie. Said that was part of the movie was BS. Honestly, I don't know. I'll have to look into that, Q-Man. All right. J.M. Jones, well, this is going south fast. We'll see. One game at a time. All right, let's see here. Another well-called game, Paul. Good night, everyone. You be well, Thurman. Thank you so much. JoJo Spades, thanks for the fun, Paul D. I am here for all of it, my friend. All right, folks. 5-1 Atlanta is your final. Jimmy, great call, Paul. Thank you so much, Jimmy. You have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow. Q-Man, think Ty Cobb was the most hated player of all time, player's point of view. He was not an easy human being to cohabitate with, from what I understand. C. John, good call, my friend. Cheers to all, and cheers to you, C. John. Brother Joe, appreciate you falling. No worries, it's 1-1. Thank you so much, Brother Joe. I hope you have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow. J.M. Jones, good night all, and thank you, Paul. For you, it's no problem at all, JM. Or, I guess, Jim. Reese, thanks, Paul D, and appreciate the 48-star flag lesson. I'm glad you understand it, my friend. Kenneth Ray, look forward to tomorrow night. I look forward to you coming back. It's good to see you. Joe Breeding, Paul D, appreciate you. I appreciate you too, Brother Joe. Dwayne Smith, Paul, good to have you back. Past 2 days, we're missing something. Yeah, I was missing you guys. That's what's up. This has been a presentation of Bombers Game Mic. Unfortunately, since there is no victory, I can play no victory tune. However, I will be back tomorrow night for the 6:15 scheduled first pitch. 6:15 p.m. Central Time, that is, down at Truist Park for the rubber match. I will begin here at 6:05 p.m. Central Time with the play-by-play live stream here on Game Mic. Thank you all so much for spending part of your Wednesday night with me. This has been a presentation of Bombers Game Mic, and it was wonderful to have you all. 5-1 Atlanta is the final here in Game 2. Let's see here. I'm Paul D. Bombers Game Mic, over and out. Thank you so much, and be well, both you and yours, wherever you may be. Have a good night, everybody. I will see you tomorrow. Cheers.